Yep. We are back in the game. Esports fans, maybe a little bit of a quality dip here. However, the gameplay is still of high quality. I am still Dysart, joined still by Musi as we check out the end of this game here between Aquamarine game number 1 and Pawn Stars. Looks like it went in favor there of Pawn Stars, Musi, for that first one on the Convergence map. So well played to them. We should be able to catch more of the action for game number 2 between these two teams very, very shortly.
Yeah, I mean, I would attribute it mostly to the fact that Pawn Stars has a cooler name. Everybody knows that the name is going to be what carries you through the initial rounds. The question is going to be, how is Aquamarine going to be able to pivot after the fact? I do see, just by taking a look at the stat screen here, Dice, that we saw a Thor come out for Pawn Stars. So that burst damage, very powerful into the triple strategist composition. And I know we initially talked about how, like, initially these teams, these players liked the triple strategist, but as time went on, we moved away from it. I wonder if we're going to see that turning point sooner rather than later.
Will be interesting to see where they go from here and the adaptations that these teams decide to make. We can see that Tim Tam had that SVP on the Doctor Strange, but you're right, the Thor being impactful there, and it's as I said, Musi, you know, OCE loves to have these multi-kill characters that they line themselves up on. We can see the Psylocke, Morbid Will, and we can see MVP for that Winter Soldier there. Unsurprising whatsoever, to be honest with you.
And I can believe that. Winter Soldier is another character that is able to just look at somebody and say, hey, you're dead. I killed you. And then he can do that again and again and again.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, you know.
Which he makes abundantly clear when he said, when he tells you. Yep, it's happening again. Oh, okay, yep, you're doing it again. All right, buddy, no worries. Thank you. Whatever. Cool, fantastic. Yep, no, cool. Thank you for hitting me with yet another Winter Soldier Ultimate. But yes, you're absolutely right. Very, very impactful character, and of course, being utilized to its fullest there by Pawn Stars. We'll have to see how the adaptations come through, whether or not as well. You know, Musi, the interesting thing about this game is, do the maps have a significant impact on how these teams play? Are there, you know, pros and cons for certain characters that these players really want to be able to use on these maps that is not benefiting them? It could be a huge turnaround by Aquamarine in the next game.
Oh, and you're 100% correct that there are going to be certain maps that benefit certain characters more than others. I know, for me personally, I know Clintar is where I love to see Iron Man's run around because of that walk around flank that you can have, and because you get to lock Iron Man, you get to have your Hulk, so now you have pressure you can put in on the front. It's very attack side skewered until all the way until that last point where, like,
oh yeah,
you just have to get through the last push, and defense just gets to have their spawn right there.
Right there.
Thanks,
and it's so stressful.
It's really hard. The quest is just going to be, what map are we going to land next? And that'll be the answer of, okay, well, who are we going to see showing up?
And realistically, you know, Season 1 hasn't been out for that long. Certainly not as long as players have had the chance to experience maps like Clintar, Tokyo 2099, and have the experience on those. So if we see some Season 1 maps starting to come out and players having to potentially navigate their way through that, potentially some people that have more experience are going to have better opportunities to take advantage of some of the high ground and some of the unique differences in the way that the new maps are played out.
And it's going to be the question of, how much time have you put into this game? That experience becomes really, really critical when pivoting to those older maps. Where some of the newer players, they have more time on the more recent maps, they'll be able to figure things out a little bit quicker in those engagements. I know, especially the New York map, the Mr. Fantastic 4 one that released, has a couple of interesting, like, I'm gonna call them quirks, little quirky, you know,
Yeah.
little special moments that could definitely be abused by the attacking team, is what I think of. Is the whole goes up into the sky, but completely moot, because that's not where we're headed, Dice. We're not going to New York.
No, we're not going to Tokyo Museum. Tokyo 2099 it will be. as we get into game number 2 between Aquamarine and Pawn Stars. Hopefully now with all of our issues sorted out, we can get a closer look at these two teams and what direction they're going to opt towards here. We saw that Wolverine being banned out last time, Muzi. Do you think something very similar is going to come out this time, or maybe a little bit different?
Would almost expect Wolverine to be banned by one of the teams, because you're gonna want to run Doctor Strange, and
yep, that's true.
Because we know Tim Tam loves this Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna ban that Wolverine. You need that Wolverine off the board in order for Tim Tam to be able to perform to their fullest potential.
It's going to be the Black Panther banned away here by the Pawn Stars. So still that dive character being taken away, and now Magneto banned by Aquamarine. So this could potentially be a Wolverine angle, being able to bring him out and punish out a Doctor Strange, realistically, from both of these tank players, Muzi.
And I do scratch my head a little bit at that. I would hope maybe to see the Pawn Stars protect the Wolverine if they have players that are willing to block it. That's another point that we have to think about as well. Yes, there are going to be characters that do extremely well into some of these heroes, but if you cannot play them, there's no point. Just like for like the triple strategist comp that we see, breaking out into higher tiers, that if you can't play it, don't bother. It is going to be Psylocke and Winter Soldier that are protected, and Namor and Hela banned away. Hela banned makes me think we could see Iron Man or Storm, the hit scan character that does so well against those picks. Now we have the opportunity to free up the skies a bit.
Yeah, we certainly do, and it's a lot of characters being locked in here. Morbid Will is going to go back towards that Psylocke by the looks of it, and I'm excited to see this Star-Lord potentially being pulled out. We know how strong it can be, Muzi, and the impact that Star-Lord can have, as we will be shortly getting into our game here between these two teams. Morbid Will at the moment is hovering the Jeffrey, but I imagine he's getting those bubbles out right now, giving his team some of that additional movement speed, get to that point a little bit sooner and have a bit more of an impact, a bit more time to set up, Muzi.
Gotta love the ability to swap from hero to hero.
Mm-hmm.
Just get people out onto the point. I do want to see Aquamarine take a little bit more of a defensible position. You do see that they have the Wolverine on lock, ready to fight against Shazza, who's going to be on that Doctor Strange. So I would expect to see, you've got your 3 strategists. They're just going to be right behind Tim Tam, keeping that Doctor Strange alive, while Morbid Will is going to be looking for those Psylocke flanks, try to see if he can pick off Azure, and Goldfree's job is to find Doctor Strange and kill him, take him off the map. I don't want to see that guy anywhere near me.
Oh, wow, look how quickly Hyper's having to play on this Star-Lord, looking for these opportunities on the Wolverine there, and really positioning around those corners, making sure he's not getting himself too far out of position. But look how quickly Pawn Stars have managed to push through this corner already. Daxu on this Winter Soldier, he's going to start looking for kills very early here and build up that ult charge quickly on that Winter Soldier.
That Kraken impact can be a lot to contend with. I'm going to need both Hut and Zure to just put everything that they can onto Tim Tam. Like I said, it's just the gameplay of, I just got to keep this Vanguard alive. And with 3 strategists, you can do that.
Sure.
But with gold free on this Wolverine, you can imagine that the best defense is going to be a solid offense.
Getting up into the air quickly here as Pawn Stars are going to push up onto this staircase and look around the corner. A lot of damage coming out from Daxu, looking to try to lock himself into that first blood damage, but Loki is going to heal through all of it very quickly as Hut using that Cloak and Dagger ult to heal his team and create enough space for Aquamarine to push forward, and a big back off there as Shazza goes down for Pawn Stars. First blood coming out early here, Muzi, but turned around on as Goldfree picks up 1. Daxu goes down. That's exactly what you need to see. You can't let that Winter Soldier start popping off. That's a great stagger to be able to get early on in that fight, Muzi.
So Pawn Stars, they have 4 ultimates available, coming up on 5 here. This next push is going to be critical for Aquamarine to hold the line. They only have the Invisible Woman ultimate, that invisible boundary to fend off all the damage that's about to come through. Here goes the pop from Pawn Stars. They want to go in.
Oh, Agamotto into the back one as well as Shaz is going to find a 3-man stun there. Looking for Monovich, but immediately has to get his shield up as the opposing Invisible Woman and the ultimate coming down. Look at all the kills for Aquamarine. Godfrey gets a triple kill, and it was off the back of the Eye of Agamotto music. Huge.
Tim Tam is a monster. What just happened? Eye of Agamotto just shuts down everybody. Pawn Stars doesn't have an opportunity to use these ultimates that they've been charging up. They're still sitting on 4, and now Zior has Fate of Both Worlds for the next push. Aquamarine's looking really good here.
Tim Tam will be able to heal up. That triple support coming in handy as the Kraken is going to be impactful, but is it impactful enough? Morbid Will goes in with that ultimate, looking for kills, won't be able to find anything through all the healing. Daxu taking his time through these Lunar Snow ultimates to find an opportunity as Morbid Will going to look into the air here for Faye, but down he goes. Oh, sorry, that was Hype on that Star-Lord, still finding damage as well into the backline as the Lunar Snow ultimate being impactful here. Back through does go the Star-Lord, but turned around on immediately all the way down to 30 HP. Will be able to survive there. No more kills coming through, but still pushing for now. The Pawn Stars as Godfrey will fall to Daxu there. That could be the opening here as Tim Tam finds an ultimate, but is it on enough people? No. Forced back is this Doctor Strange into the Invisible Woman ultimate music. It's still going on, the fight.
The sustain from Aquamarine is absolutely nuts. Eye of Agamotto to open it up. Pawn Stars want to find this push.
Great ultimate there from that Eye of Agamotto. Will be enough to give Pawn Stars this checkpoint, Musi. Good fight there overall. Very, very high sustain comps from both of these teams. And I guess that's what makes these Doctor Stranges so impactful, is that it just completely eliminates the ability for sustain to come through, Musi.
There's no real CC cleanse in this game. There's no way to deal with Eye of Agamotto except just not be in the area when it's happening. Even though Aquamarine staggered their ultimates well, the Fate of Both Worlds, the Eternal Bond, Cloak and Dagger, and Luna Snow, the sustain is good, but when you can't act on anything, it gives Daxu and Hype a chance to just lay on the damage and make good pushes.
Speaking of which, Daxu is trying to get into the backline one more time as Godfrey will go down. And in is that Winter Soldier looking for more DPS, and he will be able to find Tim Tam as well. This is a great push opportunity as the Kraken is impactful, and it's available here for this Winter Soldier, but no need to use it just yet. Still looking for DPS, and there it is. Can he get an again reset there? Zior goes down. He gets another one. Musi, he's looking for more. Daxu, triple kill. Oh, he gets a double pull there as well as he picks up the quad! He can't be stopped, Musi! What a push there for Pawn Stars! When will this end?
They're gonna walk up. It never ends. Look at him. Doctor Strange, Tim Tam ain't going in there, but what can he find?
Godfrey is in on this Wolverine, but down he goes immediately. Lunar Snow ultimate popped on the point here to be able to hold through for a little bit there for Aquamarine, but this is a terrible position for them to be in. Daxu popped off so hard and so fast there that, yeah, now there's another Lunar Snow ult, this time for Pawn Stars, and I don't think Shaz is going to find impact here with this ultimate. Yes, he did. Down goes Zior.
Yeah, Eye of Agamotto. They are able to pick up Zior. That's one less strategist to deal with. And you can imagine that Pawn Stars are just going to walk this down. The stagger is solid.
He's back. He's back. He's already got his ultimate back as well. Musi finds Morbid Will and looking for Godfrey triple kill again here for the Winter Soldier. It's another quad for Daxu. He's huge, Musi.
Somebody needs to put this man in a box. Get Daxu off this character. I don't ever want to see a Winter Soldier in my game again. If I'm Aquamarine, Daxu's a menace that has to be put down. Aquamarine has one last stand that they can make here with no adjustments coming out from their team comp. They do pick up a Loki and a Storm. Hopefully the damage will be good enough. But honestly, I feel like Pawn Stars has such forward momentum going into this next push that they're not going to slow down.
Morbid Will, he's able to find the damage onto Daxu. Kafune does go down, so trading out that support, not ideal, but this gives Godfrey an opportunity to push in here and look for some DPS. He's trying to find damage onto Shazza there, but the shield is doing a lot of work, and it will keep Shazza alive with the abilities and the healing, from Azure Bear and Bushy. Hype does go down there as Zior trying to find some DPS. Morbid Will doing work as down goes Shazza finally here. Good hold by Aquamarine for now as Tim Tam trying to push out onto Daxu. Risky play though, as Godfrey's going to be pushed back immediately.
Aquamarine does have God of Mischief available, and with the Omega Hurricane on lock here as well, you can imagine that they'll be able to hold the line for a bit, but what does Daxu have to say about it? Look at the damage he puts in.
Immediately finds Tim Tam, and he's going to fire off that ultimate! Double kill already for Bucky! Trying to find some more, but he's inside that Lunar Snow ult, so won't be able to find enough DPS or burst there to get the kills, as Hype is going to use this Star-Lord ultimate. He is legendary one more time, and Hut will go down as Zorbeck credited with that kill. Another kill there for Hype 2 is going to allow Pawn Stars to push through and hopefully get this point under their belt. Tim Tam, no ultimate available as Kafune is going to switch over onto that ult into Lunar Snow, keep his team alive for a little bit longer. Morbid Will is in, but Kafuno's down, and so is Sior. Pawn Stars are pushing through as Dax is looking for more. Musi, this could be it. Goldfree pulled in, it goes down!
Daxu is cleaning house right now. Pawn Stars get that push in, and they will earn themselves 3.17 seconds to spare. The damage was just too good from this Pawn Stars composition. Daxu and Hypa were just laying on the DPS. No amount of sustain in the world is going to save you from that Kraken impact when Daxu is able to isolate these strategists and get solid resets one after the other. It is actually gnarly what this character is able to do.
What it comes down to is respect at the end of the day, is you have to respect the resets of that Winter Soldier, and you, at this point, almost need to be able to hold an ultimate for when he has the Kraken impact available. We saw Kafune hold the Loki ultimate to switch off into Lunar Snow and get that extra bit of sustain there, and it was impactful when he had that time. Unfortunately, Musi Pawn Stars just had too many ults available. They had too much push on their hands, and Daxu had created too much space for his team by that point. But I think that we need to see Aquamarine really respecting what Daxu was able to do.
Absolutely, and I want to see Aquamarine try to pivot a bit from this triple strategist composition. I think if they had a little bit more damage on hand, that they could respond to Daxu on this Winter Soldier. If we can get somebody to flank, get behind, take out a strategist, or maybe one of the duelists that is just causing all this havoc for this Aquamarine comp, then they might be able to find a little bit more success. Their first few holds were strong, it was good, but once they caved into that pressure, they were not able to stop the forward momentum from Pawn Stars. Now with Pawn Stars on the defense, they're still feeling good about the fact they won that last game. They just had a great push. These players are going to be on it, and they're not going to be afraid to take fights.
Not at all, as Zorbear will pick off Goldfree early there. We'll pick off, Goldfree early there, who switched himself over onto that Winter Soldier himself, trying to punish out, potentially, the impact that Daxu is having and the front-lining potential that he's got there, but falling this early, not great here for Aquamarine. Goldfree is going to come back up and look for some kills, a little bit of damage onto this Star-Lord, and it's a good position to be in as well for this Winter Soldier, as Tim Tam should be able to get this cart around the corner pretty quickly here, Musi, but it's a difficult position to be in. I think Pawn Stars are building up their ults pretty quickly here.
And once they have those ultimate abilities out, whoa, Morbid Will finds Hypa there. That might be what Aquamarine needs to crack open this egg. Omega
right into the back line. Love to see it. But the healers, they're keeping each other alive so effectively. Morbid Will was not able to find the impact, and the rest of his team just didn't dive alongside him there. Do you think that's worth it, Musi? There was a lot of space created. They've gotten themselves to the staircase off that. But is it enough value, do you think, off of the ultimate there from the Storm? Or do you think these healers just got a bit too much value off of what they can do, Musi?
They did force out the Invisible Woman ultimate. Pawn Stars won't have it for this next fight, but they don't need it. Fate of both worlds. Daxu has ultimate. A lot of abilities available. Eye of Agamotto.
Tim Tam will find one as Morbid Will picks up another, and Goldfree will find the third here. Great fight so far, but Daxu has a lot to say about it. Will go down, though. Nearly an ace here for Aquamarine. Daxu not able to get into the back line and completely carry his team at the end of that fight. Not impressed, honestly, Musi, to see this Lunar Snow ultimate being used. I think maybe not ideal there to waste that in this situation unless there's a portal coming out, and so there is. But Goldfree, he's used the Kraken impact already, and he's resetting crazy, but Hype punishes it out immediately with that ultimate from the Star-Lord. That's a great punish and a good hold so far on this point, as Lunar Snow ultimate will be forced out of Aquamarine here, but I think they're going to get this point pretty quickly, Musi, as the ultimate coming out from Morbid Will.
Whoa! Okay, Aquamarine got something to say. Morbid Will finds themselves that triple, and Aquamarine will get themselves that first point. They got 4 minutes to make this next push, and I honestly do believe that Morbid Will, with that initial Storm ultimate, was able to force out the ultimate from the Invisible Woman, stagger those strategist ultimates, so that when Goldfree is ready to make that push with their Kraken Impact, Pawn Stars won't have as many tools available to fend that off. And it did force Shaza to make that portal to try to make that last stand, but the momentum from Aquamarine was just a little too strong, a little too much, but Pawn Stars have a chance to rally and hold at this next point.
Look, this is still a good opportunity for Pawn Stars. They've wasted out a lot of ultimates, and especially the ult from Morbid Will. They're no longer having that Storm to rely on as Goldfree will pick off Daxu. That's a great 1v1 there between the Winter Soldiers here. And being able to punish Daxu, not letting him into the backline, very, very important here for Aquamarine.
Aquamarine needs to make sure that they stop Daxu and also Hypa, who had a huge ult in that last fight, turning off Goldfree. So I need to make sure that Aquamarine is respecting the duelists, the damage that they can put out from Pawn Stars, who, by the way, has 4 ultimates now. They want to stop this push.
They do want to stop this push as Hype's going to go into that Star-Lord ultimate, looking for the kill, and we'll be able to find it onto Zior. Down goes a healer here, but blocked off is that shield there from the Invisible Woman, going to prevent Star-Lord from having that impact, as Goldfree looking for a pull into the backline here, might be able to find Daxu as his ultimates come up, and the Kraken can always be impactful, Musi. Going to try to wrap around the back here as Morbid Will looking for some DPS, but it's going to be Daxu firing off the Kraken impact, and he's punished immediately, but still managing to find a few kills there as Shaza picks up Goldfree as well, so there's no counterplay from this opposing Winter Soldier. It's a rough position now for Aquamarine to push through this last little corridor.
Even though Kafune did a great job neutering the damage that Hypa was putting out with that Galactic Legend, it's just not quite enough, because Pawn Stars, I feel right now, they're playing very cohesively. They're responding to threats very well. If somebody's damage is getting turned off, the team is able to turn around, look at that Invisible Woman and say, hey, stop doing that. They're playing with their ultimates very well, and you can imagine that's going to get very frustrating to deal with here.
Goldfree and Morbid Will have already picked off 2 kills, and here comes the ultimate from this Storm as well, looking for DBS into the backline, and it will be enough! The Hyper carries her in, and down go the Pawn Stars team! Wow, what a push from Aquamarine!
That was disgusting. Morbid Will is the Daxu of Aquamarine here, because the damage that they put out and the consistency that they can do it. I love these Omega Storm calls from Morbid Will. They just break open the opposition that is Pawn Stars and gives Aquamarine another chance to make this push. They only got a little more than 2 minutes to get in there, and Eye of Agamotto from Tim Tam is going to make sure they have more.
And Daxu does go down, so I'm going to call that eye value here already. Even though we didn't find those healers, which you typically want to see coming out from the Doctor Strange, Zior and Goldfree have found a few kills, and that's going to get them around this corner very quickly. Now looking for some staggers here, as Goldfree might look to get around a corner himself and position for a few quick picks here. Morbid Will in good position to do some DPS as well.
No real ultimates for Aquamarine. We do have God of Mischief for Hut. The question is going to be, what do we want to use that for? Daxu switches to Storm, might as well. And Hypa on the Moon Knight. I like this. Eye of Agamotto, it's huge.
Maybe not big enough here, as Hut is going to use that ultimate as well, countering out with that Loki into the Lunar Snow here. A lot of dancing going on as Goldfree looking for DPS, and Hype actually goes down to Morbid Will, so that Moon Knight's not going to have impact. We know that Omega Stormcall is available here. That might be exactly what Aquamarine need to clean up some of these kills. They're waiting for the Lunar Snow ultimates too, and Daxu also has his own ultimate. Hut, though, is going to pick up Pushy, and that's a huge healer to have down here as Morbid Will. He's in the backline again, Musi, but can he find any kills? No! Eye of Agamotto is good, but Daxu is even better. He's in. Kafune, Morbid Will, they're finding kills, but so is Daxu. Can this point be pushed through, Musi? Morbid Will looking for the 1v1 with the opposing Storm here. A little bit more DPS alongside Kafune will be able to do it. Daxu's still alive. Will he live? The point can't push through far enough though, Musi, and holding for now are the Pawn Stars. They're just barely touching.
Pawn Stars, it's just a last-minute effort to try to bleed away any possibility that Aquamarine have, but they all but have this point. They're going to be able to close this out. Pawn Stars need a miracle. Not going to be able to find it. Good push from Aquamarine.
Wow. Honestly, the fact that Aquamarine turned that around as hard as they did is insane. The speed it felt like with which Pawn Stars were able to push their first point there and get to 3 points, especially off of what Daxu was able to do. It felt impossible for a little bit there, Musi, for for Aquamarine to be able to do the same thing. But they did it! They did it, and they did it well.
A lot of it is off of the back of Morbid Will on this Storm pick. I feel like I said, switching up the composition a little bit helps Aquamarine. When you have a character like Storm who's able to burst through the triple strategist healing, that's what you have to do in order to win these fights. No amount of sustained DPS is going to get you through these health bars. You have to make sure that if you want to kill somebody, you have to do it fairly immediately. So Storm, really solid for that pick. You also have Hut on this Loki, so the ability to say, okay, I want 2 Storm ultimates, I want 2 Eye of Agamottos, or oh, we need another invisible boundary. Like, the flexibility becomes very important in these higher level games. Options for players is probably one of the strongest things that you can give them. And it also saves them from any dive that Daxu is able to do with their Winter Soldier pick initially, or Hypa, who Daxu and Hypa have swapped their picks here. Hypa rocking Winter Soldier, Daxu may be feeling more comfortable on the Star-Lord.
Wow, Morbid Will as well, already getting off some early DPS. Maybe this is what you do, Musi. When you're at match point, you shake it up on them and scare them by going, you know, this isn't even my final form. This isn't even my pick. Watch as we switch it up and quickly pushing other Pawn Stars. Now, the fact that we're 3-3 means that there's only about a minute on the clock for both teams here. A little bit less or a little bit more on either side there. But Pawn Stars really have to basically be always touching the point to be able to get value right now. And honestly, I would be surprised if they're able to get some early kills here, given the way that Aquamarine played that last little bit, as Tim Tam will be able to find Hype. That's a great start here for Aquamarine, and now pushing in even further, touching. Excellent play so far from Aquamarine. Looking for these ultimates coming up soon, Musi.
I like Aquamarine's chances here. They had a good hold the last time we saw them on defense. They're able to hold that corner especially well, too. So to drain out the clock, 3 seconds down. We're going into overtime. Ultimate's coming up. Is it going to be gold free?
In trouble there. Shazza is able to be credited with that kill as ultimates are coming up, and having that early kill on a defensive team means that, yep, Azure Bear straight into the Cloak and Dagger ultimate will be able to get into the backline, looking for some damage onto Morbid Will here as Daxu is firing off everything he has on this Star-Lord, trading off as well as he's going to find 3 kills for his team. Credited across the board there as Tim Tam goes down, and it's almost a clean sweep there for Pawn Stars. They have a pretty clear pathway to this first checkpoint, Musi.
And notably, the only ultimate used by Pawn Stars there was the Eternal Bond from Azure Bear, while Aquamarine used both that Loki God of Mischief and their own Internal Bond. Wasn't enough, but the portal here, Tim Tam, getting ready for that big drop.
Come on, Eye of Agamotto into the backline. Great use of the shield there from his opposing Doctor Strange to prevent all of that value. It was up in the air. He's Daxu looking for some damage, but it's going to have to go through all of these Lunar Snow ultimates. We did see a Kraken impact coming out there, so no kills just yet. Waiting is Daxu going to try and look for some damage into the backline. Shazza! Eye of Agamotto into the backline. It will be blocked out just a little bit here. Still no kills going down, but Tim Tam low and Tim Tam down. Gold free though, looking to try to find value off the back of these Lunar Snow ultimates ending. Pawn Stars are winning the fight though. They're going to get the first checkpoint, Musi, and this is exactly what they needed. Touching for this long and getting to this checkpoint is huge after that early hold from Aquamarine.
Pawn Stars, with this push, at this point, the big goal is just going to be, we got to shove this cart as far as we can. If we get to the end point, that's freaking awesome. Go us, go team. But it's not likely. All Aquamarine needs to do is shove them off once. So at this point, Pawn Stars just want to get it as far as possible by themselves. A lot of breathing room for their own defense. And I have a lot of confidence in their own defense at this point. Aquamarine has not been able to hold it down at all. Daxu and Hypa, this switch has been working out well for them. And Shaz has had some pretty solid Eye of Agamotto. So when does Aquamarine get the chance to turn it around?
It's a hard place to be, and maybe Morbid will have something to say about it as here comes the Omega Storm call. It's good as well. Finds one immediately, and it's a healer too. Down goes that Lunar Snow as Azure Bear will use his own ultimate on that Cloak and Dagger, going to keep his team alive and sustained. Daxu pushed back a little bit, looking for an opportunity here as the Eye of Agamotto comes down from Tim Tam. Again, not able to find the value that he's looking for. Kraken Impact is better though, and Goldfree is able to find a double kill. Kafune picks off another one as well, and this is going to be the point. Turned around there. Finally, Quadra for Goldfree. Aquamarine hold, but it's a hard push to make. for Aquamarine here. Musi, what are they going to do?
I mean, me personally, I'd push the cart past 60.33 meters.
Good call. Good call.
That's just
Write
what
that down.
I would do, right? Like,
I've heard you're looking for coaching opportunities. Can we get you on board for coaching?
Yeah. Here's my first piece of advice.
Yeah,
Don't get hit. My second piece of advice: kill them before they kill you.
Okay,
my
all right.
third piece of advice: push. Are you writing this down?
I'm writing this down everywhere.
All right, perfect. I mean, Aquamarine, they have a hard push ahead of them. Pawn Stars have earned back a lot of momentum, and I really thought Aquamarine was going to be able to hold that point initially there. The fact that they didn't, and not only are we, the spectators looking at this and going, "Oh, that's kind of weird for Aquamarine." Aquamarine is going to be feeling that, right? What's on the line for us right now, Diceheart? We have Steam gift cards in Australian dollars, right? This is not a kid's game that we're playing right now. This is real. This is serious. I need more Marvel Rival skins, and the only way to do that is to push that cart.
It's very, very true.
Yeah.
I mean, we joke about it, but for Aquamarine, this is it. This is their last push. If they can't win here, they're out of the tournament. And they must be feeling that pressure right now at 3 and 4, 60 meters to push here. That is the most pressure that they've felt all tournament here. Losers bracket, last opportunity to get their Steam gift cards and potentially get a battle pass worth of Steam gift cards. This is their chance.
I mean, I use Steam gift card. I go over to Woolworths, get some Tim Tams, like Tim Tam on this Doctor Strange. You got to do what you got to do. But first, before we can even start thinking about that, we got to make this push. And initially, it's looking pretty well for them. But honestly, Pawn Stars...
Oh, Goldfree in the back line.
Hold is so good. Daxu
finds one, but Goldfree turns it around. Great positioning there by the Winter Soldier. Azure doing a good job healing up his team, but Goldfree is down as Shaz is credited with that kill. This is a good push so far for Aquamarine, but they're not currently holding the point. Pawn Stars have their hands on it for now.
I want to see Aquamarine maybe make some quick switches to their composition. I want to see a more aggressive leaning. This triple strategist is great for sustained damage, great for sustained fights, but we need big burst. We need big damage. We get some big damage here, but with Loki able to just heal it back up, Pawn Stars can't get dove on with this Loki pick, so I just want more DPS coming out from Aquamarine, and with 10 seconds left on the clock, I don't think they can find it.
Ultimates are coming up. Kafune has his available as a Kraken Impact. Will start to come down here from Hype, but he's not able to find a lot of value there. This might be a good opportunity for Aquamarine to start turning around some kills. Goldfree's not too far off his own Kraken Impact. Agamotto blocked off completely there for Tim Tam. He's had such a difficult time dealing with Shazza, and now Shazza's going to find a great Agamotto into the backline. Down go Morbid Will and Goldfree immediately. This is great for Pawn Stars. They found a perfect place to hold. Azure's going to use his own ultimate, and Hut has already used his to be Lunar Snow there for a little bit too. Daxu has his ult. He's into the backline here, waiting out for the rest of that Lunar Snow ultimate to come down as Hut finds one. Daxu finds another, and Hype is doing so much work. This Goldfree is in trouble, but Morbid will be able to get into the backline with his own ultimate. Finds one. Can he find some more here? No, they were just Loki clones. Hype doing so much work. It's nearly over. Music quadra kill. Penta kill. Can he get the Hexa here? Onto Zior. Pulls him back in. The game ends, Musi. No!
No Hexakill, but instead you do get to take home that big old W, which is going to be worth a lot more at the end of the day. Oh my god, what a hold from Pawn Stars there. Just actual brutality. Daxu credited with the MVP, and I believe it, because good lord, Daxu and Hypa really showed up this game. 51 eliminations. What nonsense.
Excellent stuff. And, you can't get to 51 if the opposing team isn't making it a long game for you. So, well played there to Aquamarine to get us out to this point, but going to be a 2-0 victory in favor of the Pawn Stars there to push us through that losers semi-finals. Excellently played by both teams, but wow, Daxu, Hype, everyone just looks so strong. The multi-kill kings of OCE are out tonight, Musi, and I don't think that we're stopping there. I think that we're going to see a lot more multi-kills coming out, a lot more impact from a lot of these players.
I mean, I'm excited to see what they do going forward here, because good lord, what a treat to watch that go down. And
Hmm.
I do have to shout out the fact that Aquamarine was looking really strong there for a while. Unfortunately, Pawn Stars just had I feel like they just had this forward momentum that carried them through that second part of the game. Once they found what really worked, they were just able to use it and abuse it. Storm, what a character to be able to lay on damage, but it's just not enough in the face of the ability that Star-Lord has to flank and harass the enemy strategists,
Yep.
and Winter Soldier's ability to just stare at somebody and say, "Hey, I'm going to shoot you with my gun and beat the crap out of you, and now you're dead. I'll see you in like 6 seconds."
Well, very exciting so far. What an excellent start off to our night, Musi. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties, but now that we're here, we can have a quick look over at the bracket. We can see that Aquamarine have fallen there, unfortunately, to Pawn Stars after an excellent push through that bracket so far. Unfortunately, they lost to Xavier Hope early, managed to beat out LL to get to that semi-finals on the losers side here. But coming up shortly, we'll have Chalkit versus Pawn Stars for that losers final. Music. Can't wait to see it. For now, though, we're going to take a very short 3-minute break before we get into the losers finals. Not too far off, going to be seeing who is going to end it all off for us. For now, though, we'll be right back with you shortly. Welcome back, esports fans. My name continues to be Dysart, and I'm still joined here by our very friendly American friend, Musi. Thank you for joining us tonight, Musi. It's been excellent to have you here. I know it's early morning where you are right now to join us in OCE for our finals tonight.
I mean, I'm just happy to be here. These games are ridiculous. I didn't know y'all play like this. This is nuts. I was like, I would Dysart be a little bit of Marvel Rival. What is? Oh my god, you people live like this? That's crazy.
If there's
Australia
no quad, at least
a man.
it does. It does. If you're this terrified of just walking around the street, then imagine what people will do to you in Marvel Rivals. But look, if there's no quad in the game, at least it's a boring game, and we got a penta there most of the time though. Quads, pentas from those Winter Soldiers, and we saw quite a few of them, Musi.
Yeah, I mean, Hypa and Daxu. I mean, initially it was weird. It was Daxu this, Daxu that. This player's nuts. And then Hypa pops out Winter Soldier. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I think it's a Winter Soldier thing. Not just this. I mean, these players are nuts. But I don't know if we can let them have these picks. And I'm curious to see if maybe Chalk bans away Winter Soldier going to this game, or if they're very confident in their ability to handle these players with these ridiculous DPSs.
Very interesting to see coming into this one. We know that Chalkit have some very capable players who are also quite strong on some of the more dive-oriented characters in Marvel Rivals. So it'll be, I wouldn't be surprised to see quite likely a fair bit of Psylocke coming out alongside that Winter Soldier still, and the OCE Star-Lord mains coming down as well. But, you know, even then we saw Morbid Will. Unfortunately, he did start off on that Psylocke in those games, but just wasn't able to have the impact until he switched over to that Storm. And the uses of the ultimate on that Storm, don't get me wrong, phenomenal, perfect. But, you know, I think that now maybe a bit of a tip towards the Psylocke is likely to start coming out and might have more of an impact, maybe, than these Winter Soldiers have been able to have so far.
Well, and the thing with Storm, especially into these compositions, is that Storm is a character that is able to burst people down fairly quickly and effectively, which is something you need to do when you're dealing with triple strategists, which I feel like a bit of a broken record. I know I talk about triple strategists a lot. It's the new hotness, right? It's that new fresh pizza, candy, pie, cake thing, whatever. If you found it at the food court, it's delicious. You don't know what it is. But Storm is a really good tool to break that apart. Unfortunately, Storm is a character that needs to be in that mid range. She's full commit. She's full tilt. Either you kill them or you die. And unfortunately, Hypa and Daxu are playing characters that can shred down a Storm. Winter Soldier is able to pick her out of the sky, and Daxu is able to fly up there next to her and be like, I have 2 guns and you have 0. So give me all your money.
See you later.
Fall to the sky. Yeah, I was going to say, legend, wait for it. And then,
and then everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead.
You're absolutely right, Musi. Let's have a quick look while we're waiting to get into this next game at the bracket. Have a peep at who we'll be looking at for our losers bracket finals. It will be Chalkit versus Porn Stars. We saw Chalkit earlier in the semi-finals on that winners bracket side going against Xavier Hope. Now they're looking for an opportunity to find their way back up and compete again for a chance at the grand finals. But Musi, Porn Stars, they're on a roll at the moment. I wouldn't put it past them to really push through this bracket right now.
No, and they have, and we talked about it when we started, it's a few VODs in the back. There's a little bit of technical difficulties. We're fine. We're back. But
we are back.
Pawn Stars is going to have this forward momentum. They're a little warmed up. They're on fire. They're going to feel good about that victory that they just had. So with that mental capability of, okay, we won this game, we can win the next one. I would expect to see them play a little bit more a little bit more aggressive as we move towards this match with Chalkit. If they beat Chalkit, I really have to wonder how well they can keep that momentum up, keep this playing up if they move towards Xavier Hope, because at some point it's going to change from momentum to fatigue. And the question is that fatigue hitting sooner rather than later? Because there is a chance that they hit that fatigue going into this next set. And that is something that could really shut down any kind of momentum they have, and they're going to start slipping. And that is something that Chalk is going to be able to capitalize on.
Look, Musi, I think as well, if you're Xavier Hope right now, you're watching this losers finals playing out, you're watching how both of these teams, Chalkit and Pawn Stars, are playing, and you're trying to find the cracks. As you said, there should be some fatigue starting to set in for Pawn Stars. You're looking for the cracks in their gameplay, who is maybe off their game and who is really on their game. I would not be at all surprised to see a lot of Winter Stars bands coming out. Winter Stars. Winter Soldier bands coming out here to try and prevent what really is expected of these teams.
And
excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, so, but it's not a question that we're going to be able to have answered until we move into this next game we have coming. Chalkit and Pawn Stars. So we know Pawn Stars likes to run these triple strategists with Star Lord and Winter Soldier. They're willing to pivot to Storm if they need to, but for the most part, they like that burst and the dive, or the flank more accurately. Once you have Kraken Impact online, the composition kind of switches to a dive because you're going in with your Winter Soldier trying to get a good Eye of Agamotto. We know Doctor Strange is just a character that will be in every game. So unless somebody does something crazy and bans it out, that'd be pretty freaking cool. I think
Imagine
we
that.
would be big fans. But I guess my question to you is, as you are more familiar with these players than I am, what are you expecting from Chalkit going into this?
Look, I honestly am expecting Psylocke and actually, you know what I am expecting from Chalkit? I'm expecting Star-Lord triple support. I would not at all be surprised to see the Adam Warlock, the Mantis, the Lunar Snow, and the Star-Lord, maybe with a Magneto or a Doctor Strange coming down, and just full healing, constant revives, just the impact that those characters are able to have, and especially the power that Adam Warlock has to give his team up characters like the Mantis and the Star-Lord instant revives on themselves, as well as fully reviving his entire team as well.
And I like that you bring that up because that's a different type of triple strategist than what we saw Pawn Stars and Aqua Marine using. The Mantis and the Adam Warlock with the Star Lord. The revives being a tool there where Mantis is able to self peel for herself. She does have the revive. And then Star Lord can play a little bit more aggressively because he has that revive. Adam Warlock with that giant AoE revive. There's a lot of give and take with these team fights. So I wonder if we get a chance to see the two styles of these triple strategists kind of battle against each other. So I'm hoping Chalkit delivers on what you've been saying here, then starts to play a little differently, right?
Well, we are getting into picks, bans, and saves here, and the first ban coming out already is this Storm from the side of Pawn Stars. They do not want to deal with that. They saw what Morbid Will did and said, yeah, we're not doing that again. No chance. Get rid of that immediately. Have to see what Chalkit are going to ban out here, Musi.
So we have options. Wolverine is a good ban if you want to save your Doctor Strange, but it's going to be the Winter Soldier they were watching last game. That is the only explanation I have for that ban. That is saying, Hypa and Daxu, you need to play something else. And you banned out your own Storm that Daxu was willing to switch to as well.
Sure.
So we got to start thinking on our feet a little bit here. What is the backup team composition for Pawn Stars? We are going to protect that Luna Snow for Chalk. And I feel like that's kind of a given. I don't think we necessarily need to worry about protecting these strategist picks. Both teams want Luna Snow. Both teams want Loki. I maybe wonder if we want to save some of our duelists, like the Moon Knight that's going to get taken away.
Wow.
So that's another character that has big burst potential, is very strong into these triple strategist comps. So you know exactly what Pawn Stars is cooking up here.
Yeah, I think, Pawn Stars have obviously done their homework. We can see that Viper is hovering that Moon Knight, so very likely what he wanted to go towards here. And down goes this Psylocke too. So no Winter Soldier, no Psylocke. Maybe we see a Black Panther coming out at some point here from one of these teams, but no more. He's going to be locked in by Viper there, and it was actually locked for a second as well by Pawn Stars. So they're aware of the dive and getting ready for this counter dive immediately, as Magic is likely to be on the table for both of these teams.
And along with all of this, Vashon highlighting and locking in the Shark. Oh, Cloak and Dagger. Cool. All right, whatever.
I guess we see boring gameplay.
Whatever. But no, for real. Like, it's gonna be Luna Stone. We went through all the trouble to protect it. You might as well
Oh,
pick him on
absolutely.
your team, right? So what sticks out to me a lot here is gonna be you talked about it. You mentioned it, DeCello on this magic.
Mhm.
So it's a character that I haven't been seeing too much of recently, but I like it because melee characters tend to do pretty well into Doctor Strange. We don't have Wolverine here in any of these comps, but I feel like Magic can accomplish something similar, and that's just going to be try to put pressure onto Shaza and make Kadank and Bushy look at this Doctor Strange, and that's going to open up a possibility to either put some damage onto Daxu or onto Hypa because the strategists are going to be too busy trying to keep Shaza afloat.
Oh, here comes Shaza stepping up immediately and trying to create space for his team. We're on Tokyo 2099, this convergence map, so got to capture that point before you start pushing it here. Daxu on this Hela likely wants to start looking for some high ground soon and look for some headshots here. But it's an easy start so far to create some space for Pawn Stars. It's being pushed back quite quickly. Chalk it already, Musi.
And something that I've noticed with these OCE Doctor Stranges is that we don't open the games with portals trying to find high ground. Both teams are very willing to fight on the even playing field, just staying right next to the point, walk up to the point, not a big deal. Shaza and E-Crush probably going to be saving their portals for re-engaging after a wipe. So I would imagine that Pawn Stars wants to try to force some tools away from Chalk and then re-engage after they get wiped, or if they are able to get a successful push, they have portal a little bit later.
Did see DeSolo there, managing to find the solo kill onto Daxu, but immediately traded out. So unfortunate for the Magic player. And Nomuro actually coming out into the backline here. Won't be able to find any kills, but Fashawn actually does find a Zorbear. So healer down here. Great defense so far for Chalker to Shaza. Push back as well. Looking for some damage here onto E-Crush. Going deep is this Doctor Strange, having to shield himself out into the backline here. He's created a lot of space for his team, and Viper is going to look for it and finds himself that double kill. Down goes Shaza. In the backline, though, McLegends, he's looking for damage. He might be able to find this Namor here. It's a bit of a risky dive for the Loki, but he's got a lot of DPS, and Namor can't really heal himself out of trouble here.
I mean, if there was ever a character that has the potential to lay on a bunch of damage all at once, it's gonna be Loki. Stacking your clones on top of each other. Of course, that means that McLegends won't have those clones in a good position for the push from Pawn Stars. 6 ultimates available. All hell's about to break loose. We're just waiting for somebody to push that big red button.
It's true, and there's the big red button. It's going to be Luna Snow. Ultimate popped off immediately. Here is Shaza. Gets into the backline with an Io Magamoto, but the good counter ult from this Luna Snow won't change the fact that Hype has that whale and is finding kill after kill on the Namor. E-Crush into the backline here, looking for a little bit of damage onto these Luna Snows, but he's not going to be able to find enough here on this Doctor Strange. Doesn't have his ultimate available anymore, as DeSolo does on this Magic. Looking for some DPS to hold through for his team here, as all 6 members of Pawn Stars are touching this point and trying to cap it inside of the Miss Invisible ultimate here. Shaza frozen out, looking for damage into the backline. E-Crush in a lot of trouble with his shield up, and down he goes. Shaza credited with the kill, and this point going to go in favor of the Pawn Stars on their attack.
Pawn Stars, what a great way to be able to burst into that fight. I mean, things get really messy when everybody has ultimates, so I like the fact that Pawn Stars did a good job staggering things properly. The portal here from Chalk, can they hold?
Chalk it are going to be able to touch that point in the very last second. E-Crush creating space for his team is into the air. Does go Daxu, looking for damage onto the just portaling in team. Finds himself a double kill with a Hela ultimate. Daxu is going to carry his team through the last bit of that point. Punished out. Chalk it for that Doctor Strange portal there. It's on a huge cooldown now, Musi.
Yeah, I mean, when we force ban picks like Winter Soldier, we do leave ourselves open to this Hela, which is pretty much an undisputed strongest duelist in the game, right? I mean, hit, scan, damage. If you are a player that is able to reliably hit headshots, you two-shot pretty much every squishy in the game. It's not even an issue. And for a player like Daxu, that is something that you can do fairly reliably. The ultimate as well is so good. Those birds that AoE damage into the hallway corridors, there's nowhere that you can really run or hide from it. So unless E-Crush is able to get up there and shield away most of the damage, Daxu just gets to free cast. But the problem with E-Crush trying to shield up there leaves him wide open for Hypa, an equally talented player, to just lay on damage for himself. Pawn Stars just have so much going for them right now.
Shazza, though, is going to Eye of Agamotto into the backline as Solo does find himself a double kill there, punishing that out with the Lunar Snow ultimate as well, just cancelling the value that the Eye of Agamotto gives to Solo. Finds himself that third kill, credited to Mick Legends. Great defense here from Chalkit to be able to hold back against that Eye of Agamotto, although they've only got 2 ults available. Building up towards a 3rd and 4th here is great for Chalkit, but 3 on the sides of Pawn Stars right now, and Daxu is going to look to build up his very quickly here, Musi.
Daxu, I'm waiting for him to build up, but I'm also keeping an eye on Hypas. We're at 90%. Fate of both worlds forced out here. Viper picks up Daxu. That's great. That's really going to neuter the push that Pawn Stars has. But whether or not they hear me saying it and if they believe it is another story entirely.
Value ultimate from the Namor there, and he's managed to find 4 or 5 kills for his team. It's another huge hold for Chalkit. Did you see that whale just knock everybody down, Musi?
Call me Ishmael. We're going fishing. Viper 5-5, reeling in a big one and immediately laying it out. Any type of momentum that Pawn Stars had, done. And I really like the fact that Viper used that at the perfect time. Bushy was using Fate of Both Worlds to try to keep Pawn Stars alive, but the moment it ran out, that whale went up and over and splattered over everybody. Pawn Stars now have to find a new way in.
Daxu is struggling so much on this Hela right now. DeSolo just keeps targeting him out. He's in that magic ultimate. There's another Lunar Snow and Miss Invisible ult are going to come down. So there's a lot of support ultimates used. If E-Crush can hold through here, he doesn't have his ult, but he's got a lot of value and a lot of DPS that he can get into the backline. Daxu has respawned, as we're going to see another Lunar Snow ult being popped here for Pawn Stars, trying to get their hands on this point, but pushed back immediately. McLegend's in a great position to do some damage, but Daxu in even better of a position on this Hela will be able to find 1 kill, looking for some damage into the backline, and it's going to go up into that ultimate. DeSolo is going to trade out 1, but it's a hard position for Daxu to find kills, and he will get E-Crush, and now looking for DeSolo as well. Great damage here for Daxu on this Hela. This is going to be the second checkpoint, Musi. Very, very likely, unless Viper can find another huge ultimate.
Really tragic. McLegends dying before they had the chance to use their ultimate. E-Crush getting picked off is no good as well. Vashon's going to touch that point. All the girls are girling, but Pawn Stars do not care.
Touching right now for the moment are Chalkit, but they're in danger. Viper already down as the ultimate going to come out from this Lunar Snow. Shazza trying to find anything that he can into the back line as the rest of Pawn Stars push through. Only 1-2 people touching here for Chalkit. E-Crush 2% away from his ultimate. The Eye of Agamotto likely to come down, and it's going to be frozen out by the Lunar Snow. E-Crush stopped in his tracks there. Great play with that stun. Musi, how can Pawn Stars be stopped here? They're looking, and down go the healers. E-Crush! He finds a Quadra! Viper gets another one. They're holding!
That is ridiculous. Even after stopping the Eye of Agamotto, it's just not enough. The damage is too good. That burst potential that Doctor Strange has coming in clutch there. Pawn Stars just do not have it in them. Chalk is looking very strong right now.
Wow, Chalkit, so good. E-Crush, without having his ultimate, he got stunned out of it. Didn't matter. Still able to find a quadra kill. Still able to set up for his team. So impactful on that Doctor Strange. Musi, Viper looked great as well. He had such an impactful play with his ult. And just Solo, every player on this team looked so good, Musi. And this is into the Pawn Stars team that were getting quadras and pentas against Aquamarine.
Well, and you know what was a very key point of those quadras and pentas was that Winter Soldier that Daxu was able to kind of lean and rely on. But Pawn Stars doesn't have that tool going into the set, and I feel like it's really hurting them. They need that crack and impact. They need that burst potential from that Winter Soldier, and now that they're lacking it, they're just not able to quite find the damage they need to put down Chalk. And Chalk is coming into this fresh. They know what Pawn Stars is capable of. And, you know, they were watching that last game. We know for a fact they were.
They were. They banned away everything.
They absolutely were. So they know what's going on. They have a plan going into this, and they're executing it great, doing a good job of baiting out Strategist Ultimate and then waiting out the Fate of Both Worlds, the Loki Fate of Both Worlds, these big Strategist Ultimates before laying down their big Duelist Ultimates like the Namor, so that they can just have that big whale breach, break open the gates, and just lay on every bit of pressure that they can.
Well, Muzi, we know that, yes, Daxu was very impactful on that Winter Soldier, but what's another character that he was quite good on? It was this Star-Lord. Now he's able to pick it up here. DeSolo isn't able to punish him out quite as easily. Daxu is still going to take a little bit of damage here. DeSolo goes down to Hype on that Namor. Great play. Good defense by this Namor. We know that he's great for anti-dive, and that's exactly what he's going to do here, Muzi.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for this Magic to try to get any kind of pressure off onto them. Oh my god, look at him go. Viper just is a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, Shaz is getting so good on here as well, but he does go down to McLegends as E-Crush is going to push through onto the point. This could be it for Chalker. They might be able to cap this early here. E-Crush doesn't quite have his ultimate available just yet, but McLegends pushing through into the arcade here. Low health as DeSolo will be able to pick off that Lunar Snow. It's an excellent kill, but Daxu, he's in position. He might be able to get onto the point to be able to hold it through here as the portal coming out from Shazza. 5% away from his ultimate as the Lunar Snow ult will come down. Eye of Agamotto is available, but the support ultimates might be a little bit too much. Daxu looking for damage into the backline here. Muzi, where's the first kill going to come from? There's Eye of Agamottos everywhere. Viper gets one. Can these healers go down? The Loki healing's too good as Shazza does pick up McLegends here. Oh, this point is so intense. Muzi, DeSolo and Viper are going crazy on the DPS. Down go the healers. Pawn Stars are pushing through so comfortably. No, sorry, Chalkit are pushing through onto Pawn Stars so comfortably here.
I mean, as one does, but can't count out Daxu. The ultimate comes out. The damage is good, but it's not good enough. The attacking force from Chalkit, they'll be able to get this first point off the back of Viper, getting those last few hits. But I gotta say, E-Crush starting off that fight with that Eye of Agamotto, and the fact that Vashon and Excel McLegends, you really got to highlight the strategists from Chalkit here. They are doing such a great job giving Viper and DeSolo the space they need in order to put out the damage. Pawn Stars got to put a stop to this push from Chalkit because Chalkit only has to make it halfway across the map, and they're feeling pretty good about what they can do already. Viper is going to have ultimate about 10%. E-Crush has that Eye of Agamotto on the way, notably sooner than Shaza. So this next fight is looking really good for Chalkit.
E-Crush positioning to be able to get it off early as well, hiding around these corners, but Hype will be able to pick off DeSolo, and Daxu finds Viper as well. These are great kills here for Pawn Stars. Get their hands onto that convoy and start pushing it back a little bit, as E-Crush is looking to be picked off maybe by Daxu. Now looking for staggers here are the Pawn Stars. Still showing signs of life. They're not done yet, Muzi, and they're building up their ultimates to be able to get this next hold off against Chalkit's push.
I want Chalkit to make the aggressive play here. There are no strategist ultimates available for Pawn Stars. If you strike now, if you strike hard, you can end this game. The question is, do they know that, and are they willing to make that push? DeSolo causing havoc in the backline. That's what you want to see. E-Crush gets the first pick.
Oh, Viper looking for some damage, but you're right. E-Crush has picked off one as the Namor ultimates will trade back and forth here. E-Crush has that Eye of Agamotto, and he's going to try to get into the backline here with that value. Looking now for this Namor, and we'll be able to get some DPS off, but it's inside of a Lunar Snow ultimate. Doesn't matter. Hype goes down as the healers are doing the work that they can. This point's going to push through very quickly for Chalkit. Pawn Stars, they have to clutch up. They have 3 ultimates as Bushy is going to use his here. I can't see who he's transformed into just yet. Shocking, it's a Lunar Snow.
Yeah, who would have guessed? The girls are girling once again. Daxu finds Viper, so the Pawn Stars defense looks pretty good. Shazza opens it up. Eye of Agamotto.
No stuns off too much. Healers there. No, yeah, it was looking exciting. He was positioned well for it, but the healers saw it coming. They backed off quickly. Hyper, though, does pick off DeSolo here.
Mr. Fantastic?
Mr. Fantastic. Yep.
Okay.
Good.
Well, Good. Yeah,
Good.
he's stretchy. One Piece? Is it real?
What the One Piece is where he got another kill!
It's
McLegend goes down! He's too good! Oh my god, he's reading everything that they do here. Chalk It are actually struggling to find a push against Senor Fantastic here. E-Crush does have this Eye of Agamotto, and DeSolo is going to be able to find a position around the side here, but using this high ground perfectly right now are the Pawn Stars music.
I mean, Pawn Stars, they using it perfectly, but guess who doesn't care? E-Crush finds two. Chalk It, looking to end it here and now.
Viper, though, he's playing this Mr. Fantastic, nearly has that ultimate available as well. Viper trying to get into the backline here, looking for headshots inside of that Lunar Snow ultimate. It's not going to quite be enough, but Azorbear in trouble, and this whale is available, likely to crush down into the backline here as Hyper is going to use his ultimate, but not finding enough damage on these bounces here. Trying to do what he can, but Mr. Fantastic isn't going to have a great opportunity inside of that whale. Down goes Kudank, and that's a huge healer down as the Solo finds Pushy. This is the last Pushy here, as Daxu going to go up into this ultimate, looking for some DPS with that Hela, but blocked off immediately by the Doctor Strange. Shazza goes down as the Solo finds two. Chalk It are pushing through for the end. Can Hyper live here? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Fantastic, he's no longer big boy. He becomes small man and gets absolutely deflated. What a block from E-Crush. Stops the damage from Daxu. Shazza opens the portal.
Oh.
It's good. The Eye of Agamotto's better, though.
E-Crush was ready for it, immediately firing off that Eye of Agamotto to punish there. But we do see a Lunar Snow ultimate popped here as Daxu is going to push into the backline and try to find some DPS. Not quite able to find everything he needs as E-Crush is going to look for some damage as well. Daxu goes down to XL0, and Shaz is in a great position to do what he can as alongside the Solo here. Overtime. This is very, very close still. Double kill for Shazza. Music, it's not over yet. Hyper, though, in a little bit of trouble in the backline as Shazza is doing what he can. Viper looking for headshots. Who goes down first here? Azorbear using that Cloak and Dagger ultimate. Great sustain here for his team as Hyper finds the Solo.
I mean, McLegends also has Eternal Bond, but there's only two people from Chalk here to make this push, but E-Crush has ultimate available.
Eye of Agamotto! Huge stuns across the board, but this Doctor Strange shield is going to keep his team alive. Hype boinging away into the backline on this Mr. Fantastic, but he's not able to find enough DPS here. Viper on the respawn, DeSolo trying to push through. Down goes Daxu here, a little bit longer. Two people touching still. For both teams here. Down goes McLegends. E-Crush finds two. It's over. Chalk It win the first game.
What ridiculousness. That fight took forever.
It did.
I have aged 3 years in the time that fight took place. I am a different man now from when the game began, but Chalk It was ready for this Pawn Stars composition. And it started with that Winter Soldier ban, and it ended with the Mr. Fantastic pick. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what we were cooking there. The ultimate just didn't do enough. The occasional picks were strong, but I definitely would have liked to see where's the Star-Lord, right? Like, we have characters that we're strong with. Let's keep rocking that if we can. Chalk, I mean, Viper 5-5, we cannot not mention the fact that the ults were on point and DeSolo did a great job harassing the backline. The Doctor Strange battle, E-Crush is looking very good right now. A lot of good Eye of Agamottos to really start these fights off and break open these team fights. I mean, both of these teams are actually nuts.
Yeah.
I really just have to highlight just how in it Chalk was, especially in that last push.
Absolutely. And, you know, that last point where they were holding at is a very, very difficult choke point to push through. We know that because both teams really struggled to do so. It was that last couple of meters there in overtime for both teams. So it's a hard position to be in. It's a hard position to hold and push through. Chalk It just barely managed to make it through at the end there, but that could have gone either way. Pawn Stars nearly had that game in their hands. Daxu finding so much damage on that Hela with those ultimates, but I really do think, at the end of the day, it was the Battle of the Nemours and the Battle of the Doctor Strangers.
Yeah, and I really have to highlight E-Crush again on this Doctor Strange doing a great job blocking Daxu's ultimate. We had a great view of it in the camera as Daxu's looking down over everybody, throwing out these crows, and all
Yeah.
of a sudden Doctor Strange is just right there. And you're like, ah, what are you doing in my house? What is this? So
See,
great presence of mind to keep an eye out for these things and just completely neuter the damage that Daxu was trying to put out with the Hela.
look, I play a lot of Doctor Strange music, so I'm used to it from the Doctor Strange side, going up and blocking Hela ult. I've never seen it from the Hela perspective, and I didn't like that. It made
It's
me very
terrifying.
uncomfortable
It's
being a
awful.
DPS character and going, "Oh, okay, cool, thank you, good."
It's like, "Hi, have you heard the good word about the Doctor Strange? Did you know I have a PhD in getting in your face?" And you're just like,
Cool.
"Hello, trying to get out of here, man. I don't understand this." It's tough to deal with,
It
but
looks scary.
yeah, it kind of is scary. So it's a best of three here. That's only the first one,
It
and
is.
Chalk it is looking pretty good. But we know Pawn Stars is capable of some pretty bombastic plays. I wonder, does Chalk ban out that Winter Soldier again, or do they feel comfortable enough to let that through? And if they do let that through, is that going to be what lets Pawn Stars try to tie this up into a 1-1?
Look, anything could go through at this point. I do think that Chalkett are far too aware of that Winter Soldier. Given how close that game was as well, it almost felt like Musi, a character like Winter Soldier, could have gotten into the backline very easily and made literally all the difference in the world. So I think get rid of that, keep it away, don't let them do it. But you know that first game really went to show that neither of those teams is super far ahead of the other one. They're both really, really fighting for this opportunity to get into the grand finals. They're close. I will point out one thing: the stream can't see it, but we can. Chalkett are a complete console team, and
I think
that
they
is
notice.
insane.
You can see it when they spectate, because it shows the icons there,
Ah,
when they choose abilities and stuff. But no, totally a console team versus PC team. So there's more on the line here than these Australian dollar Steam gift cards. It's about the supremacy of console
true.
versus the PC master race,
It
right? There's pride on the line now. It's about glory. It's about winning and it's about bragging rights. So whoever wins this gets to say they represent that community as a whole and says that they're better than everybody else. So don't forget, there's that there too now.
the bragging rights go crazy in OCE. I'll be honest, and I wouldn't be, at all be surprised to see these teams go, yeah, console superior.
Which is
But
better.
look, at
Whole
the end of
aim
the day, do
system
you want
better.
to win on console if you're not getting if you're getting a Steam gift card? That doesn't help, right?
I mean, no, it's just for winning. It's just for bragging
That's
rights.
true. That's true. They're gonna look me in the eye and say, "We don't want our Steam gift card. We don't need it. We're on console."
We already won enough glory and prizes. We
Well,
need
look,
your
Musi,
gift cards.
we're a few minutes away from this second game going through here between Chalker and Pawn Stars. I want to talk a little bit more about sort of the pathway that we've taken to get here. So let's have a quick look over at that bracket one more time once production is ready to bring us over there. We can see Chalkett have had quite the pathway to get where they are right now. Of course, they had to lose at some point. It was to Xavier Hope, the top team going in at the moment. They're sitting there waiting for their grand finals opportunity, and they've been waiting for over a week so far to get there, Musi. Chalkett have been pushed down to this losers side grand finals. But Pawn Stars, what a journey they've had to get back here, having to take on Aquamarine, having to beat Nugs in that 2-1. Crazy pathway to get where they're at right now.
I mean, and it's a great story for both of these teams because Pawn Stars, like you said, they have crawled through every source of opposition to get here.
Mhm.
But Chalkett lost to Xavier. That's what put them in this position. So even
True.
if Chalkett wins, they have to go back up and fight Xavier again and hope that they're stronger this time around, that they've got it more put together. Xavier's just sitting at the top, ready for whoever it is that decides to come up and challenge them. But in order to figure out who that is, we got to see this brawl out between Pawn Stars and Chalkett. Chalkett being the fallen angels and Pawn Stars, the demons that have crawled from the depths itself just to get to this position.
Well, Musi, both of these teams at this point, yes, they're fighting for their chance to get into the grand finals, but they're also improving each other. They're pushing one another because they both lost to Xavier Hope, and this is their chance at redemption. One of these teams is going to win this set and go into the grand finals, and the other one is going to be happy that they trained their team that they lost to take down Xavier Hope and get their revenge.
It's like they're both fighting over that ex-girlfriend, and they're like, "Nar, we're good for you. You don't pick that other guy." And she's just sitting there like, waiting for these losers to beat each other up so I can reject the other one.
Hashtag Marvel Rival.
Rivals.
It's just Luna Snow.
It's just Luna Snow on the other end. Just kind of like, are they the Jax Films video? Is there guys beatboxing, like dubstep battling? It's like, stop talking. I want to talk about it.
But while all the girls are girling.
They are. God bless them. All the girls are girling.
We love a bit of Luna Snow, and honestly, we have seen some Luna tonight. I would expect, of course, to see some more. These Lokis make it so that you get even more Luna Snow for your Luna Snow. But really, the characters that we've seen punishing, or at least finding the quick, impactful plays after the Luna Snow all over have been the Winter Soldiers, but also now these Namors. Seeing that whale come out the moment the Luna Snow ult is over, we saw Viper time his perfectly to the end of that dance.
Yeah, and I like seeing that from these players because Luna Snow popping their ultimate is basically the screw your ult button. Whatever you're doing right now, it's not actually happening. My team is going to live through it. So having something on that back burner to, in Namor's case, literally hoist over the edge and launch it onto the enemy team is going to be a really important pick going forward. It's that burst damage versus that sustained DPS. Being able to just take all those health bars and knock them down a peg is what you need to do in order to win. You can't just sit there as a Punisher and be like, okay, well, I'm going to shoot you forever and eventually you'll die. You can't do that into triple strategists. You have to kill them all at once. That's also why we're seeing Moon Knight getting banned away. The Hands of Khonshu, very important because that damage, you are not living through it. It is too much all at once. So, and Namor has that extra benefit. You talked about it. You can't dive on that character. No. He will shove you away. He has backup with his turrets. So it's really hard to lock a character like that down. So I like seeing follow-up Namor ultimates. I like seeing locked in general. To me, at least, I'm learning in these sets alone, it is a very powerful pick going forward.
And, Musi, we saw the impact that the dive characters have. I would call Winter Soldier a dive character, despite the fact that he's literally an entire team character. He'll fight everyone and he doesn't care. But, the Winter Soldiers, the Psylocks. We haven't seen any Black Panther, but I wouldn't be surprised. The Wolverines. So quickly developing a strong Namor player for your team and being able to deploy them out and have them ready to go when you're expecting this dive is more impactful, honestly, than being able to play the dive character at the end in the first place, because you've got the counter ready to go. And as you said, Viper looked fantastic setting up for his team and punishing these supports just like a dive character would. We'll have to see which direction these teams go in. We won't be too far off of game number 2 here, starting in about 1 minute between these two teams. So a little bit longer before they are ready to go. I believe they are taking their time to really analyze this. And, I appreciate, we've made some jokes. It's Steam gift cards for this tournament, but they happen every week. So that'll be all right. But taking it seriously right now is kind of crucial because you want to be a team that can push through this point, these earlier tournaments, so that when there's a proper league set up and in place or a pathway to world championships, you've taken it seriously and you've prepared yourself. But Musi, here we go. Picks, bans, and saves for game number 2.
I love that. I love it. We're coming here, Yggdrasil path. And I do want to touch on what you were saying, because I think it's a really good point. We joke about the fact that, Steam gift cards, Australian dollars. I'm from the US, so,
Monopoly money,
I have a lot of ground to stand on there. But it's, at the end of the day, it's about winning. It's about winning, and it's about proving that you can win. Mm-hmm. So it is important that we win these games. It's not funny, for these players. We are trying our hardest. We are trying to win. And that's why we are seeing some fairly immediate bans here. Storm taken off the table, as well as, again, that Winter Soldier. Pawn Stars will not have what I would say is their strongest pick available to them. It is now an uphill battle for Pawn Stars.
Too true here, and of course, in the shape of any good competition, we see the 6 Jeffs being hovered here. Surely one of these players will lock that in, but Moon Knight is going to be saved there for Chalk at Musi. It's going to be exciting to see when this gets picked. I don't know if it's going to be picked straight away. Do you?
So Moon Knight to me is going to be one of those characters that we want not for the initial push, but for when the card starts showing up and we can abuse the choke points a little bit more. I feel Hands of Khonshu is very strong when we can force everybody to stay together and kind of raw dog the Hands of Khonshu. So I tried so desperately to find a way to not say that, but I had to. I just had to let it rip. So I think he shows up later, but not right away. I mean, 6 Jeffs instead. That looks like a team comp I can get behind. Psylocke and Magic taken off the board, so the flankers are no longer flanking. The girls are girling, though. Luna Snow is protected. And I do see the Moon Knight locked immediately for Viper. So I guess when you're that good on Moon Knight, if I'm not mistaken, Moon Knight was banned last game, and we did see Viper try to hover it before. So this is a pick that Viper wants going forward. They're not even a Namor player they were popping off. Now we're gonna give them Moon Knight. I'm a little scared. I'm a little afraid. I'm not gonna lie. I'm expecting big things.
You know, Viper looked fantastic on the Namor, and obviously he wanted to be playing this Moon Knight. Imagine what he's going to be able to achieve with those Hands of Khonshu. Now, I'm still seeing Reed Richards here. I'm still seeing that Senor Fantastico.
So, I mean, I've received some information that Hypa's Mr. Fantastic is low-key goated. So, maybe he knows something about the character that we don't, because it is my understanding that Mr. Fantastic lacks a bit of damage. His ultimate is not as impactful as maybe I would like from my duelists. It's not a Hands of Khonshu. It's not a Hela ultimate. It's missing that oomph. It's very silly and fun to watch, but I do not understand what this character can necessarily bring to the table. I'm hoping Hypo teaches me something today as he walks it down with this Mr. Fantastic right out the gates here.
Oh, is sedated out, though, and has to back off a little bit from the damage coming down as these Doctor Strangers in a little bit of trouble. Down goes one, and it's a great pick already as DeSolo now on this Namor, looking for more DPS here. Great hold so far for Chalker. There's double kill there for Viper, and he's looking fantastic on the Moon Knight already.
And what this Moon Knight can also do for this defense, even as the Pawn Stars needs to make this initial push, is that you could throw down these curse donks into corridors where maybe anybody from Pawn Stars wants to try to flank. You basically create these kill zones saying you can't walk here, you need to walk it down the front and deal with my Doctor Strange head on. Hypa is able to find a pick, however, onto Viper, so we get to see Pawn Stars get a chance to actually walk this cart down. The Chalkit needs to make sure that we group up together before we make an initial push. I worry that maybe there's going to be a little bit of a back and forth here where they stagger.
Yeah, we'll have to see which team is able to push through that last little bit here. Whether or not these Moon Knights are going to be impactful, but it will be the attacking side of Pawn Stars who were able to find that last little push and get that checkpoint. Good position to be in here.
I mean, Hypa just kind of popped off, I guess. Like, all right, there it is. Mr. Fantastic. Feeling fantastic, baby. That's not too bad at all. We love to see that. Ultimates not even expended from Pawn Stars. Feeling a lot better this push than we did last game. That momentum versus fatigue we were talking about. We're shaking off that fatigue. We're gaining some more of that traction, some more of that momentum. Daxu's going to keep the push going. Oh,
Daxu finds 2. E-Crush goes down. So too does the Solo. This is great push right now for Pawn Stars. They already had Chalkit all the way back in the corner, inside of this wall, inside of this choke point. Finding this push all the way through here to get this next choke point is crucial. This checkpoint is crucial here, but crucially as well, Musi, so far, they've only got one person touching the cart, so it's very, very slow on the push.
But as they're trying to make this slow push on the cart, Pawn Stars do have ultimates available. Hypa's going to start with his, but E-Crush finds Daxu for this fight.
Great pick there. This could be the position that Chalkit needed to find themselves in. As Vashon is going to use that Lunar Snow ultimate. No kills on the board except for this Lunar Snow going down. Picks across the board for Viper. Triple kill for the Moon Knight. Look where he's positioned as well. Finds 2 more for his team, credited to E-Crush and to Solo, but Chalkit positioning perfectly. Viper, excellent play on the Moon Knight. That's why he wanted it. And this is how he's going to punish out Pawn Stars for letting him have this pick.
Even though Pawn Stars had that invisible boundary going, the sustain is not enough. You cannot out-sustain the hands of Khonshu, but Shaza ready with the portal to re-engage with the quickness. They want the fight again. Eye of
Agamotto straight into the Namor ultimate as well. Stunned out are a few players here, but McLegends will be able to survive for the time being, able to find a couple of kills as well as Daxu goes down, and the push from Pawn Stars is immediately held back here. Shaza just not finding value as Hype to pick off some kills here on this Mr. Fantastic, but he's not able to find the DPS that he needs as E-Crush takes down Bushy. These healers being forced back so quickly. It's not great here for the push of Pawn Stars, Musi.
DeSolo, there was a brief interaction there between DeSolo and Hypa, where Hypa was trying to catch after DeSolo, but Namor, his ability to self-peel, just another tool in his toolkit that makes him such a great character for the comps that we see nowadays, because even if Hypa tries to isolate DeSolo and take him away and out of the fight, all that DeSolo has to do is just rise in his little water bubble and say, hey, XL, hey, McLegends, Vashon, I just need a little bit of healing before I get down in there. And then he's just right back where he was before without a care in the world.
Has the hands. Viper finds one and E-Crush picks off a healer there. 2 healers down as E-Crush is going to push through and look for this opposing Moon Knight down. DPS onto Hype here. It's so hard to push through for Pawn Stars because perfectly timed constantly is Viper's DPS. He finds a pick, Pawn Stars have to wait before they can push again.
And what's even more critical than these picks that the DPS that Chalkit is able to put out here is the fact that E-Crush is still holding on to Eye of Agamotto. Vashon has their ultimate. McLegends has their ultimate. Tools are not being used or forced out from Chalkit. Pawn Stars does not have it in them.
Now Pawn Stars will use 3 ultimates back-to-back here as Hype trying to find some DPS, and it's enough DPS as well! 3 kills immediately onto the board there for Pawn Stars, pushing out the rest of Chalkit as well. They needed that last fight. It took a few ults, Musi, but they found it, and they're going to get their second checkpoint, still with a minute on the clock there. It was a good fight, and Chalkit, they didn't get a chance to respond with their ultimates. They've still got 4, nearly 5 available to them.
Yeah, really tragic that neither McLegends nor Excel were able to let loose with their strategist ultimates, and now Daxu is just cleaning house, the forward scouting of Star-Lord, the stagger that Chalkit has to try to contend with now. Not going to be able to have an ideal hold or a choke point for this last push. This last push, I feel, is very slanted towards the attacking side, too, because you can just run it down. Even though the spawn is right there, doesn't matter. If you have the momentum to keep it going, you can make it happen. Unfortunately for Pawn Stars, Chalkit has 5 ults available, and they are not afraid to try to use them to win this next fight.
Oh, the hands are down for Khonshu here as Daxu's looking for damage, and he will be able to find Viper there, credited to Hype on that Mr. Fantastic. Daxu still doing work on this Star-Lord as E-Crush is going to try to get into the backline here and block off a lot of damage from this Star-Lord. McLegends is going to use that Lunar Snow ultimate as Loki. Zorbear finds E-Crush though. Good position here for Pawn Stars as they find one and look for more. Support ultimates down as well. This could be it as the Eye of Agamotto into the backline is huge! Shaza finds 2 with it as McLegends in trouble as well. This is a push that Pawn Stars need. Viper into the backline too. Finding damage onto these DPS players. It's so much, Musi.
That whole fight started really awkwardly. E-Crush was all by himself. All the strategists were not there to support him. It's going to let Pawn Stars push through. Big ultimates from Shaza. That Eye of Agamotto really lets loose and opens up the possibilities here for Pawn Stars, and Hypa is just putting on the damage as well, but Chalk has one last chance to hold. DeSolo finds a pick.
DeSolo finds one as E-Crush is looking for Shaza here. He will be able to find it as well. E-Crush with the double kill on this Doctor Strange. Hold for now. Do it chalk it, but 5 meters left on that board here, Musi. 30 seconds. It's close. It's very, very close. And this is a hard push in response.
Yeah, very close indeed. I don't like how close it... Oh, okay. Shaza with the portal. Not close enough. As Pawn Stars ready to make this big push. But look at the hold here from Chocket.
Shortcut are in such a good position here. Agamotto into the backline. Viper looking for damage as well. And he's going to be able to find it. More and more go down as Viper finds a double kill. XL0 into the front line as well. And it's enough here for Pawn Stars to be held at that 2-0 those last 5 or 6 meters. It's a great push for them, but Shortcut have held exactly where they need to.
And the benefit here, even though the cart was essentially all the way there, now Chocket just needs to play a clean game of Convoy and push that cart all the way down to the victory line to cinch themselves this 2-0. Pawn Stars is looking pretty good there, though. I'm not going to lie. It was unfortunate that when they portaled in the way that they did, Chocket just had the right response, and they had the hands of Khonshu there to make it happen. So the hold was good, basically. They had the tools, they had the positioning, it was good. But Pawn Stars was right there. And the fact that Pawn Stars is getting better and better with each of these games, like you said, these teams are training against each other. I do feel that Pawn Stars has the capability to make a good hold and stop Chocket from completing a full push.
Look, this is the last moment here for Pawn Stars. We've seen them really push through this entire tournament to get to where they are. They're in the losers side grand finals right now, and it's match point here. Chocket can win this right now. Pawn Stars have to hold here to be able to force themselves back an opportunity to get into the grand finals. On this push right now, Chocket, they have to push a very, very long way. I think we're going to see some amazing things from Pawn Stars to try to hold through here. Daxu is on this Hawkeye. I haven't seen that since Season 0 very commonly. After he got nerfed down a little bit, Musi, it'll be interesting to see how he goes here.
And while Hawkeye did see those nerfs, that this is a character that still has crazy kill potential. You just have to be more consistent with your shots. And I trust Daxu's ability to be consistent with his shots. Shaza finds an early kill onto Viper, and Daxu, there it is, picks off McLegends. Yep. I'm liking this Pawn Stars hold so far. Hype is still rocking this Mr. Fantastic, and honestly, I'm a little bit of a believer now. Look at him go. What a big old man.
He got the kill as well. I'm starting to believe as well. And it's really just the pressure that he's able to output. He almost is an additional tank while still being able to do DPS there. So it looks really strong in these early pushes. I just want to see Hyper switching it up a little bit, moving back and forth between some characters and grabbing that that Mr. Fantastic when he really needs it. But he's still looking good, and so too is Daxu. The constant and consistent DPS that he's able to find on these healers is looking really nice so far.
And the only thing that I stress about with Daxu on this Hawkeye is the fact that there is a Invisible Woman. Oh, no, there isn't. Oh, well, I was going to mention that Invisible Woman completely negates... Oh, my goodness, Viper. All right.
Khonshu has the hand.
Yeah, he's got hands, all right. Look at him swinging.
Oh, finds himself a double kill as well, does Viper. This is a great push, but Hype is into the backline with his ultimate. Finds one. It's a good turnaround to find a healer there as Bushy is on that respawn and coming back to the point. Ultimate used by Miss Invisible as well is good. Vashon goes down, and this Mr. Fantastic is consistently finding value. Pawn Stars are looking great on this hold so far, Musi.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving everything that I'm seeing here, but I am seeing the fact that Chocket is starting to acquire some ults of their own. Look at the fact that E-Crush has Eye of Agamotto. DeSolo gets picked off, but that Namor ult is ready for the fire as well. Chocket just needs to find their opportunity to get in there and crack it. There's the Eye. E-Crush finds one.
E-Crush finding value so far, healing across the board here as Viper's going to pick off a healer. Great pick to be able to find as, again, stuck in the front line. Is this Fantastic trying to get value as Viper is able to get into the back line and get a lot of damage off on this Moon Knight, but stopped down immediately by the Mr. Fantastic. Eye of Agamotto into the back line. He's going to find a healer, and down goes Azure Bear. This is a great push here for Chocket, holding firm for quite a while there. Were the Pawn Stars, but now Daxu is left almost alone on the point, trying to find headshots, but it's too difficult for him here. This cart, I would say, Musi, is going to get to that checkpoint very, very soon.
Well, Pawn Stars did a great job holding for as long as they did, and they're gonna keep trying to hold it, but can they? They got it. I mean, it's there. Time's ticking.
Daxu found 2 kills as well. At times, it's ticking down Shaz is in the backline here, and he's blocking off so much damage, but E-Crush finally finds Daxu as Vashon uses that Lunar Snow ultimate here. McLegends has his ult as well, so can get off into the Lunar Snow as E-Crush finds one of Vashon another one. Pornstars shan't hold for too much longer, but Shazza is gonna find one. He's still touching 2 more meters. Chalkit will get their first checkpoint. It was a great hold by Pornstars though, Musi. They're not done yet.
No, they are certainly not. And Chalkit only has 3 minutes for this next push. Daxu going to go ahead and regroup with his team. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Pawn Stars here. They're doing a great job, at the very least, of bleeding out the clock. The only reason why Chalkit was able to win that fight was because they had so many ultimates to let loose. Pawn Stars is winning the fights that don't involve ultimates. So as long as they can stagger their strategist ultimates to kind of deal with the damage that Chalkit's able to put out, I feel like they can hold really well. Hands of Khonshu, total whiff from Viper there means that Pawn Stars have a great opportunity to turn this fight. Can they, though?
Hype was pushing up pretty aggressively there, looking for damage, but DeSolo finds a double kill immediately on the Namor into the backline here of the Pawn Stars. One after the other, they do fall, and Hype will go down as well. Triple kill for this Namor. It's a great fight for Chalkit, and consistently pushing that cart were they. They should get this second checkpoint on the board immediately. Pawn Stars have a huge defense to have to get off here. 3.5 minutes is a massive disparity, and the Doctor Strange portals are going to lock people out of their respawns for Pawn Stars here.
Yeah, that's this not looking great for Pawn Stars, mostly because I worry about the mental of you were holding so well to lose that second point essentially immediately. Even off the fact that Viper completely whiffed their ultimate, DeSolo throws out the ulti, finds one. Big push here for Chalkit.
That's what you need. DeSolo and Viper are going huge right now on the kills. Daxu on the respawn, and he's switched into this Punisher now, so he's going to try to find hit scan value onto these backliners, already finding a lot of damage, but the Lunar Snow ultimates will come down, and Viper into the backline. He finds Daxu. This Moon Knight cannot be stopped. E-Crush finds another one. Chalkit want to end it all here, get themselves into the grand finals. Viper, though, might be a little bit too deep, has to get back to his own backline here as Vashon doing a good job healing. Another kill on the board as down goes Hype, and DeSolo is creating so much space alongside his Doctor Strange here. E-Crush doing work. DeSolo finds the kill. Musi, it could be over here. They barely have any space left to work with, do the Pawn Stars.
Chalkit has 4 ultimates available as well. The Hands of Khonshu for Viper. E-Crush has Eye of Agamotto, which is not looking good for Pawn Stars. Viper kind of whiffs that Khonshu ult. Daxu finds DeSolo, so the push here from Chalkit isn't looking as good as it was a few seconds ago.
We did see a lot of ultimates used here on the Pawn Stars side of things. They will hold for now, as Daxu also found that solo kill on DeSolo, but I would say, Musi, Chalkit are okay with this. They pushed very far there. They've got time to regroup and get people into the backline. Eye of Agamotto is massive! E-Crush finds 2 as Vashon finds the rest. Viper and DeSolo clean it up with the double kill. The ace! Chalkit are going to end right here, right now, Musi. What a play!
E-Crush is nasty. That is what I have to say about the events that I just witnessed. E-Crush is a nasty, dirty boy. What the heck was that all about? I was just thinking to myself, I was like, all right, Chalkit probably takes a step back here. We regroup. You've got 2 minutes to play with. Chalkit said we only need 15 seconds. Absolutely lets it rip. The big push for the end here. Yeah, E-Crush is your MVP. Oh my God.
Oh, you deserve to be the MVP there. Sorry, what a play. Excellent ultimate into the back line. Finds himself pretty much the entirety of the opposing team. Let's go back and put it back onto the screen here very quickly before we get on with what we're doing. I don't know if we've got it exactly as a replay, but we should have the ability to watch that last Eye of Agamotto in just a moment here. What a play, though, and it was excellent from both teams. We talked about it quite a bit, Musi. Pawn Stars were basically, I would say, even there with Chalkit throughout that game. Game number 1, it was barely a push into that first checkpoint. Game number 2, it was right at the end there that Pawn Stars were held off just barely, but Chalkit find the win, Musi, and it's off the back of insane ultimate play.
Well, and E Crush had that massive eye at the end there to just decimate everybody in front of him. But even before then, while Pawn Stars had that great hold, the moment that Chalkit was able to crack that, Pawn Stars kind of crumbled underneath it. I really can't highlight enough how Pawn Stars completely let that second stretch go. There was no defending it. There was no defending it at all.
Mhm.
Completely wiped because Deloso, the Namor player,
Yep.
just popped off, started picking people off, and then we're done. We're moving on to the next point. There was a little bit of a hold from Pawn Stars towards the end there, but I mean, say it 3 times in a row. Good lord, E Crush just crushed it there for that last push. And Viper on this Moon Knight, now we know why it was banned away last game. Oh, we probably should have banned it this game too.
I'd
That
say
was the
so.
Winter Soldier for Chalkit. That is a character that you cannot let them have because it was just decimation. Viper was going crazy out there.
True. And what it comes down to as well, in fairness, is that it's consistent characters that are strong for Chalkit. They have so many options that they're able to look impactful on, and so many ways to be able to punish out a ban. If you're going to ban this, I'll pick something else and still look fantastic on it. Whereas Pawn Stars, yes, they still looked really good on the characters that they had left, but you could feel the void that was created by not having that Winter Soldier as an option.
Yeah, it definitely did feel like Pawn Stars' kill potential was a little bit deadened, staggered. Like they definitely still had the ability to put people down, and they did. They had great team fights, they had great holds, but it just wasn't the same. It's like you're hanging out with your new girl, and you're just like you're thinking about that Joji song, and you're just like, it's just not the same. It's not what it could
It
be,
just isn't
right?
where
So
we should be at.
but I mean, Pawn Stars still put up a great show, a
I agree.
wonderful showing. I mean, these players are nobody to sleep on, and I'm really excited to see what they do going forward, both in the tournaments that you guys have here and
Mhm.
any future events that they get involved in. These are not players to sleep on. I can only imagine that they get stronger as time goes on.
That's very true. There's a lot of opportunities for teams to move forward from here. But, Musi, we're going to take a very short break before we get into our grand finals for the weekly tournaments here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We are so back, esports fans. My name continues to be Dice Hart, and I'm still joined here by Musi, our North American gentleman friend from the sewer. I say the sewer, that's a group of casters. Don't worry, I'm not BMing America at all.
I forgive you if you do. It's okay. I mean, it's kind of it's not great. It's hey, Marvel Rivals. All right, let's video games.
Wow, yes, we are here and getting
wow.
into our grand finals now. Musi, let's take a look at the bracket one more time for tonight. It'll be between Xavier Hope and Chalkit. Now, I know you haven't had a chance to see Xavier Hope play yet, but you've seen Chalkit. You saw who they had to verse. It was Porn Stars. They looked fantastic. Do you reckon the Chalkit are carrying their momentum now? They've only played one game, so maybe not fatigued just yet, but certainly they should have some momentum after that win.
Well, I'll tell you what. After watching Chalkit play and 2-0 Pawn Stars there, it really makes me wonder what type of team is Xavier Hope to put down a team like Chalkit? Because, oh my God, Chalkit is a team, from what I've put together, that is not afraid to fight, and they will grasp any opportunity whatsoever. I think that last ult from eCrush really highlighted that if they see something, they're going to pounce like a pack of piranhas smelling blood in the water. These sharks are out to get you. Nobody's playing Jeff, though. So, what am I supposed to do about that? But Chalkit strikes me as a very strong and powerful team. Who the hell beat Chocolate? It's Xavier Hope. So who are these guys who are going to show up and put on another crazy show? I'm very pumped to see what these teams are capable of, especially Oink, who you pointed out to me. I will especially have my eye on them.
Oh yeah, Oink definitely impactful. You can see. I know that the stream can't see it, but we can see these top 8s here, which means that those are players who landed in the top 8 position on their teams in the MRC Season 0. So very, very capable players. That deserve the position that they got, fought hard for it. We can see as well that they've managed to rack themselves up pretty quickly here in Marvel Rivals Season 1, and it will be Xavier Hope versus Chalkit. I'm excited to see which of these teams have it in them to be able to take the finals here. This is the first one of these tournaments that we've run, Musi, but so far we've seen a lot of talent coming out between all of the teams that have competed, to be honest.
I am flabbergasted by the talent that's here in these player pools, these teams that we've seen. Just some absolutely gnarly Marvel Rivals gameplay. Super fun to watch as a spectator. I imagine these players are having a wonderful time as well. Like, just a huge shout outs to everybody involved. Thank you to all the players for getting together, for playing to this. And thank you, Nemesis, for getting this tournament going. You all are awesome. I didn't know Australia was capable of such madness, right? But now my eyes are glued to the OCE region for Marvel Rivals. There's some real freaking contenders here, and we're going to get a chance to see who the final contenders are for this grand finals between Chalk and Xavier Hope.
Thank you very much, Musi. It means a lot. And while we're waiting to get into this best of 5 for the grand finals here between Chalkit and Xavier Hope, I'll quickly mention as well to anybody who doesn't already know that we have an upcoming LAN at the TGX tournament. Oh, at the TGX event in Melbourne on the 23rd of March. So very, very shortly, actually, will be the LAN. You can check out how to sign up and everything going on there by following the link there to our Discord in the chat. But we'll keep the chat waiting no longer, Musi, as we get into game number 1 for the grand finals here between Xavier Hope and Chalkit. Picks, bans, and saves. Here we go.
It's going to be domination here with the Royal Palace as well. Some wonderful highlights here from Chalk. The spirits are up. The Jeffs are highlighted. Picks and prots here. So without the Winter Soldier to target ban from Chalk, I am kind of wondering, what do we look at instead? Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Okay. Not what I would have thought. I mean, Spider-Man it's a very niche pick, but clearly somebody from Xavier Hope is a crack Spider-Man, Storm off the table. That makes sense to me. My C2 caster brain, I see that and I go, yeah, it's like one of the best DPS of the game. Get rid of her. And then the Hella proc, cool. That means that we're not going to see too many Iron Mans. Such a great character to take out anybody in the air. Another strong DPS protected here.
Yeah, my small brain, smooth brain, is just barely pulling back the memories from last week and recalling the fact that I believe AJ played an absolutely insane Spider-Man. So not surprised to see that banned away now. But what wasn't banned away at all last week, or consistently enough last week, was that Doctor Strange for Oink. He's here now, and it hasn't been banned yet. I think he's going to be able to play it, and that is terrifying, Muzi. He looked so strong on that and still has opportunities here to be impactful.
Well, and with that Doctor Strange, I wonder if they want to ban out Wolverine so that Oink has zero opposition to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the Moon Knight band instead. So another character that's very strong into the triple strategist. So that makes sense seeing that there. But as Oink gets to lock in Doctor Strange, we do know that E-Crush gets to have it as well.
Sure.
It's another player that we've seen make some pretty significant plays with that Doctor Strange, Aya Agamotto, and just being a general nuisance for the enemy team. And you see AJ's with that Wolverine as well. So they know the sauce. E-Crush needs to stay aware and kind of active of the fact that there's a Wolverine out there to just shut down E-Crush. I really like Xavier's team comp so far because we got the Wolverine, the Strange, a Winter Soldier, and then the 3 strategists. There's a lot of kill potential there. You're able to turn off E-Crush on his Doctor Strange. And with the Winter Soldier, you can try to pop some of the other strategists, all while keeping Oink alive and available with their own kill potential.
Very, very true here. We'll have to see which direction these teams go in, as we're on a domination map here. So a little bit different than anything we've seen tonight, realistically, with the convergence maps that we've mostly been seeing. Viper is on that more, so has a lot of potential. We know that the solo on that Magic does a lot of work, and so does McLegends on this Loki. But Oink immediately going into that portal there, trying to set up for his team. So too is E-Crush. I wonder if either team is going to go for this high ground. Yes, Oink immediately looking to try to punish out, but because of the counter portal there by E-Crush, it's very hard for this team, for Xavier Hope, to push through onto the point now.
And that's interesting to see these portals used pretty much immediately. In the games previous, even Chalkit hesitated to use these portals. It was all about saving them for the re-engage. So to see it rip right off the bat shows that these players, they just want to get into it. They just want to start picking people off. Wow. It's already a 1-for-1 trade here.
Chalkit doing so well already as McLegends will pick off Oink there. It's a hard position for Xavier Hope to be in. Viper healing up quickly here. Chalkit are going to push through onto the point here. They've already got 4%, 5% on it as E-Crush into solo find more picks. AJ in trouble and being pushed off the point. Picked off by E-Crush, and Viper is pushing further, even harder, looking for more DPS, and now for an opportunity to get some staggers off onto Xavier Hope. Great start here for Chalkit, Muzi.
Yeah, and Chalk still hot off the heels of that last game. They're warmed up, they're ready to go. And with this initial cap, that's got to feel good for them. They are the losers coming back up against Xavier, who's sitting on the top there. I mean, and Chalk also has to contend with a bracket reset. So even if they do win the best of 5, they've got to win another game after that. So a good foot forward, 40%. Oink taking a lot of damage, but the ult from Chalk here. E-Crush finds a pick as well. Xavier cannot make that push right away.
Down goes Potato TV, and you're right. It's slowed down the ability for Xavier Hope to push in, and this is really what you want to be doing on these domination maps. If you can get one pick like that, it doesn't have to be a full team fight, but Chalkit have guaranteed themselves at least another 10%, and there it goes. They're at 50% before that more ult. They're at 60% now. They guaranteed themselves at least another 10% before the team fight starts to break out. I would expect a team fight here is, yes, Bubblecut going to use that Lunar ultimate immediately here. AJ pushed off towards the side, might be able to fire off his own ultimate in the air. No, it's only 81%. Actually, as E-Crush Eye of Agamotto into the back line. He stuns out 4! Double kill for the Strange! And more kills on the board as Vashon picks up 2 triple for E-Crush! 82% on the point! It's a huge play for the Strange!
And wow! As Chalk just on fire, hold on to that point. E-Crush is a monster. Once again, gets above everybody with that Eye of Agamotto. All the girls start girling between, XL and Bubblecut, but also notably Bubblecut fell off the map at some point. I don't even know what happened there. A good first cap for Chalk as they take the momentum from last game and apply it to the next one as we move on to Odin's Archive.
That was absolutely insane, Musi. Well played there by E-Crush to get that ultimate off into the backline. Perfectly timed as well. Like you said, Luna Snow was ulting there. Bubblecar had used his ultimate, but it was just timing it so that as the girl stopped girling, that ultimate ended. The Agamotto came out, and it was just completely over immediately for Xavier Hope on that first point. They need to get this back. This is not the position they want to start off the best of 5 in, though, against Chalkit right now, who really have a lot of momentum from their earlier win.
And Chalkit coming up to this next point, this next fight, they'll have Loki ult, they'll have the magic ultimate, and Vashon does have that invisible boundary ready as well. Tamer switches over to Jeff the Shark. We finally get to see the little shark on the big screen. Nope, I lied. It's just a bubble tech. I hate my life, dude. This game sucks. No, I'm kidding. But it's already looking like a strong start for Chalk because they're going to have more tools out the gate. A fun little treat for winning that last fight.
True. There are definitely opportunities here for both teams. We're on this high ground position around the point here, and this is very hard to fight over. A lot of teams really struggle to determine where they want to be positioned and when they want to go down, but Hela Ultimate going to come out immediately. Should be counted out by a Doctor Strange shield here, but DeSolo finds himself the first kill of the round here. Will be punished out, though, by Oink, as Miss Invisible will get her ultimate down, and E-Crush is going to struggle inside of this point here to find any DPS, but he's going to find a little bit. It's a bit of a difficult position to be in as Namoro comes out and Viper picks off one, but Potato turns it around and finds Vashon. It's a great kill onto a healer. E-Crush in trouble here as Viper looking for backliners and doing so much work on this Namor.
I mean, that pick, oh my goodness, and there's the rest of it. Chalk are going to clean this up and find this first point, I would assume, fairly quickly. Yeah, there they go. But that fight starting off, the fact that Bubblecook gets picked off, I mean, Chalk does pay that life with a life, but with the strategist taken out of the equation, this triple strategist composition relies on the fact that you need all 3 there in order to keep that sustained fight going. Once one of those legs fall out, the table goes with it and the cards spill all over the floor. But Xavier Hope has a good response here. Tamer finds one. What else can they find?
Oink is trying to push through, but DeSolo's already found AJ, and that's a great pick. Take that Hela away from Xavier Hope. Don't let them get onto the point, but on the point they are here as the Eye of Agamotto comes down, although Oink blocked off quite well here by E-Crush. Low health for this Doctor Strange, back and forth. DeSolo finds Potato TV. Bubblegum might be pushed on too soon here as Viper's trying to find DPS into the backline. Not a lot of tanks here to prevent damage from coming out as DeSolo is coming, and he wants to be in the backline.
Crush is here as well. Aya Magamoto is available. I wonder when he wants to let that rip. Xavier had it for a bit, but it's going to get passed back over to Chalk. The girls are girling. The fight is on, and it's looking pretty good for Xavier Hope.
Xavier have used their Lunar Snow ultimate here, and Tamer has his ultimate down. Potato TV trying to find damage, and he's doing a lot to Vashon there. Down goes the healer. That's a great pick already. Potato looking for more. He's going to try to pick off Bubblecar here, and with DeSolo's help, down goes Tamer. Potato TV picks up McLegend as well, and another one as Excel Zero falls. DeSolo trying to do what he can, but he goes down to Potato, and it's a dream story here for this Namor so far. Value kill after value kill as slowly Xavier Hope claw back this point, Musi.
And Namor, what a great character. We've talked about it so much that you cannot dive onto this character. DeSolo's been putting in a lot of work with this magic, but once they try to pivot towards Potato with that pick, Potato is just able to rise, get himself out of a dangerous situation, throw down some turrets, and a couple good hits is all it takes. Magical trying to force something here, but Bubblecug gets the last hit as Xavier gets to continue their hold. E-Crush has the eye. Oh,
Eye of Agamotto into the backline. A little bit of it blocked out by Oink there. As immediately pushed out is E-Crush. No value coming down right at the end as Potato TV is now looping around the side and trying to find damage inside of this Miss Invisible ult. AJ finds one as XL0 goes down into the backline. Does go AJ and finds Vashon as well. Double kill for this Magneto. Triple kill for the Magneto, and he's looking for more. Trying to pick off some DPS here. In trouble is Viper as Oink pushes through and completely blokes off this this choke point, it's nearly impossible now for Chalkit to find their hands on this game. And this is the Xavier I wanted to see on the first round. Musi, they're looking so good. E-Crush might get a touch off with this portal, though.
They go in, but they don't have Eye of Agamotto to really do too much after the fact. They get eyed instead. Xavier is looking very good. Oink putting on the damage.
This is exactly what you wanted to see by Oink to get his ultimate out at the last second there as Potato TV finds XL0. It's a great pick onto that Lunar Snow. As counted out is the Lunar Snow ultimate on the other side to Solo. Will go into the backline here looking for kills, but Oink finds one. And McLegend picks off Potato TV. Cloak and Dagger has this ultimate, very crucial to be able to give himself some survivability with his team. E-Crush trying to get into the backline, 6% away from his ultimate. It could make all of the difference in the world here for Chalkit. Will he be able to find it? AJ is looking for a pick. Oink finds E-Crush before the ult comes out. The Solo goes down, and that's the last second. 1-1 in this first game, Musi. It could not be closer between these teams.
I think a really big part of why Xavier was able to turn that around in this second part is we are pivoting away from relying singularly on the Doctor Strange. AJ's is now on this Magneto pick as well. That's a lot of shields. That's a lot of health bars that needs to be chewed through, and the triple sustain comp does not have burst damage to try to eat up tanks. It's all sustain damage. So with this Magneto, to go with this Doctor Strange, you're just able to do what the other team can't. Press Q and kill them all with your Magneto ultimate. You have Oink, Eye of Agamotto to follow up the fact you can't jump on Potato TV. He is no more. As we stare down this 1-of-1 in game one, you have to wonder, what can Chalk do to respond? Because Xavier is light on their feet, and they are ready to go for this third point. The portal comes out. No portal from Chalk, so it does look like Xavier's going to beat him to the punch.
Yeah, Chalk just don't have that portal available right now after E-Crush used it to get that final touch off. So high ground here and immediately on the point for Xavier Hope to Solo. Gets into the backline, but Potato TV now, while playing this Namor, he's able to counter out dives from characters like that Magic. Viper, though, picks off final OP. That's a great pick onto a healer early on in this fight. They need to push through now to be able to secure this point. AJ completely zoning off a DPS character, though, as Potato picks off one. McLegends trades it onto Oink, though.
And even if Chalk picks off Oink there, Xavier still has this Magneto that they can fall back on. AJ's is another Vanguard to put on there. A little bit of a ultimate here coming out onto that point. Chalk's going to be able to secure it. The Eternal Blonde does such a good job keeping people alive.
Yeah, nice.
Unlike Potato, rises to meet heaven all by himself. Early first cap here for Chalk.
Great use, exactly as you said, of that Cloak and Dagger ultimate to be able to provide his team with consistent sustain there and a little bit of DPS as well. Completely forces Xavier Hope off the point. But they're building up ultimates quickly here, Musi. They have options to be able to take the fight to their opposition here. To Chalker on the point. Magneto going to come down, looking for some damage into the back line here. Will he be able to find it? Yes! A kill onto Vashon as the Solo goes down too by Potato TV. It's a great picks across the board as McLegends falls too. This is exactly what we needed to see from Xavier. They are being clinical right now, one after the other. Triple kill for Oink. And that's exactly the Xavier that I've been looking for. How clinical was that, Musi?
I mean, even worse than the fact that you lose the point, you are also getting charged something like $4,000 for that little doctor's trip that you just went on. Even worse than all that, the portal's here, but guess who has 5 ultimates? It's still Xavier, ready to hold this point.
Namor not finding a lot of value as the Solo is going to try to get into the backline here, but we know that there's an opposing Namor to cancel out what he can do. E-Crush is in the air, but he's not able to find a position to get off the Eye of Agamotto. He has to wait now and hold it in his hands, but the point is back in favor of Chalk so far. Pushed back is Potato TV as the Solo is going to get into the backline and look for the 1v1. This is not the character you want to be 1v1ing though, as a Namor ult comes down. Lunar Snow ultimate's traded on the point as well. E-Crush trying to find value, gets 1 kill, and he might be able to find his way into the backline for a great Eye of Agamotto here, and there it is! He finds it as 2 more go down. Potato trades out 1, but this is the fight that they wanted here, as pushed back is Potato, and looking strong is E-Crush. Triple kill for Chalkit, and they're pushing this point hard, Musi.
I'm really surprised that we didn't see Xavier just drop ship all of their ultimates there the moment that Chalk walked through that portal. We had so many tools available, but I felt like we just hesitated to use them. I understand that we need to try to stagger some things in order to maintain control of the point. You got to worry about that swing back, but if Chalk is there ready to fight, you have to respond properly to it. It's crossing that 80% mark. Chalk doesn't need to hold on to it for too much longer. They're looking pretty good. Eternal Bond for Chalk is going to help them hold on. What can Xavier do to respond?
Potato picks off Viper here as Tamer goes into that Lunar Snow ultimate one more time. We saw use of the Cloak and Dagger ult on the point as well, so Xavier have used so much to try to get their hands on this point, but they have to touch now. They're in overtime, and this is a difficult position to be in. So many ultimates already used. Desire Agamotto into the backline. Down goes Final OP as E-Crush finds two and McLegends finds another. It's a great fight for Chalkit. Xavier are in trouble as down goes AJ. One more kill will do it, and it's going to go in favor. The first game, Musi, of Chalkit. The momentum swing is huge in their favor.
Xavier gets absolutely blooded here. Truly, though you may sit on the top, you are not immune to scrutiny. You are not immune to the taste of defeat. Chalk is looking very strong going into this next game, especially off of that last point, being able to win not only the engage fight from the Doctor Strange portal, but holding it after the fact and making it look easy. Chalk it, I have high hopes for going into the rest of this set.
What an excellent game played by both teams there. We saw Chalkit really have quick and impactful rounds on the two that they won, whereas in the round one there by Xavier Hope, it was a bloodbath for them to be able to hold that point consistently against the aggression of Chalkit. So I think that when it comes to domination maps, Chalkit might just be more clean. It could be though, Musi, that they're carrying the momentum from having already played one game or one round, one set today.
I mean, it's been a conversation for us throughout the entirety of tonight, where it's been the momentum versus the fatigue, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're feeling pretty good. Chalkit's feeling good coming from that last game. They had a swift 2-0. They're feeling strong. They come into this game. Now they've got a leg up over Xavier, but you also need to keep in mind that even if you win this best of 5, you have to win the reset.
Right.
You are in the losers bracket. So it's good to have the sense of momentum, to have this gameplay, but you better hope for that swift 3-0 so you can move on to the reset. The longer this game goes out, the more of a chance Xavier has to clean this up. And Xavier only needs to win 3 games. That's all they have to do. The odds are stacked against Chalkit, but they are playing like it doesn't matter.
Yep.
E-Crush is going absolutely wild. All eyes on this Vanguard player, on this Doctor Strange. These Agamotto are fight dictating. It tells you exactly what's going to happen. It ends them as soon as they begin, and Viper is an absolute menace, and DeCello is going nuts, and the 3 strategists are there too. It's going so well for Chalkit.
It really is looking great for Chalkit so far. I think, though, that if I was Xavier Hope, and it seemed like they potentially had seen the previous game, so they had a good eye on what Chalkit were looking to do. They had the correct bans coming into that game. But, if I'm Xavier, I'm starting to get into the swing of things. I know what I want to be doing, and I'm very, very prepared for coming into this second game. They must be feeling it, and they must be getting ready to really, really have an impact here. Maybe domination isn't their preferred game mode either. I know it's not mine. So we'll have to see what happens in this second game here. I'm not sure what map it'll be on. There's quite a few we haven't seen yet, but several domination maps, Musi.
I mean, yeah, if I'm Xavier, I don't want to go back to that game mode. I want to try to switch it up. I want to try to find a cart pushing map.
Oh, yeah.
Clintar. I mean, I got a little bird buzzing in my head here. A little letting us know as we move on to Clintar, Symbiotic Surface.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. All right,
Big
it's going to
Clintar
give
fan.
Xavier a chance to play around with team compositions and figure out what what maps do they want to try to go into. I think when it comes to push maps, you have a different dynamic as opposed to just trying to fight around that point and bait time. It's more about winning big fights and getting huge pushes off of that, right? the sky is blue, more news at 7. But
Hmm.
I want to see what Xavier Hope can do with that kind of fight. We know that they like Doctor Strange, and we know that they like Spider-Man if they think, if it ever gets through. So with these Eye of Agamottos, you could try to go for these big wipes and then push it away from there.
And Clintar is one of those points, or one of those maps, sorry, where you've got very, very crucial choke points where for a lot of the map, the attacker really, really has the advantage. It's very hard to defend, especially around just before that second checkpoint. But then that completely changes, where right at the end of the map, it's very, very difficult for the attacking team to be able to push through that last little bit. As you said on a previous map as well, it really comes down to where in the last few meters and the respawn point for the defending team, for the defensive team is right there. This is a completely different play style to how you needed, how these teams needed to be, interacting with each other on the domination maps. Now you're right. Sustained fights are really crucial. Survivability is crucial. And where we saw Chalkit completely hold off on that first domination point, they completely held off Xavier Hope with 1 kill. I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see team wipe after team wipe here. But Musi, why don't we get ourselves into picks, bans, and saves for game number 2 in the grand finals between Chalkit and Xavier Hope?
Oh yeah, love me some picks and prots here for game 2. You mentioned that the game plan here is going to be a little bit different, where before you could get a pick, force them off for about 10%. It buys you time. A pick here is not going to be good enough. We got to go for big, big hits. So as we move on into picks and prots here, the question becomes, what are we going to try to take away? It is going to be that Storm right away. Again, big burst character, very strong into triple support. I dig it. Again, Spider-Man target band. I mean, hey, you know what? You can't even fault Chalkit for it because it worked out for them last game. So clearly, we want to keep that going this game. But the question is, what do we protect? We do want to keep Del Solo on this magic.
Yeah, and AJ not going to have that opportunity to play this Spider-Man. It's going to be taken away from him once again, but did look impactful on that Magneto with those ultimates. So I don't know that Spider-Man removing that is all that impactful. And look, don't get me wrong, he didn't win. So, there's that. But not having that Spider-Man, we'll have to see what is impacted here as Star-Lord this time is going to be protected here for Xavier Hope. See what they want to ban though. And that's where it comes in, really comes into play here is, do you get rid of the Namor here, which has had really, really big impacts, especially for Viper? Do you get rid of Moon Knight, who Viper also plays well on? Yep, that's what you do.
I mean, I completely agree with that. Viper 5/5 is a menace with this Moon Knight. I do want to try to keep him locked onto that Namor pick, even though their Namor is devastating. Oh, excuse me. Their Namor is devastating. It's not nearly as rough as the Moon Knight. Adam Warlock getting banned away. We haven't even seen Adam Warlock picked up yet, so I don't know why we're taking it off the board right away, because we see these players opt instead for things like Invisible Woman, Luna Snow, and Cloak and Dagger. The Adam Warlock ban to me kind of feels like a bit of a throwaway.
Yeah, potentially, and this is all the potentially that I've got here. Knowing that Moon Knight was banned. Never mind. I have no idea. You're right. Potentially, it kind of comes down to we're going to play high burst, team fight oriented sort of style here, and we don't want the opportunity for Adam Warlock to completely res the team and prevent the DPS that can come out. It could be map specific as well, where Chalkit really don't want to have to deal with the revives around corners and the sticky positions that Adam Warlock can get his team out of. But Musi, we'll have to see. We're getting into game number 2 here between Chalkit and Xavier Hope. Grand finals for our OCE tournaments right now. 1-0 in the lead are Chalkit. They're coming from the losers bracket, but they're looking like winners, Musi.
I completely agree. I mean, Chalkit has been a force to contend with, both in last game and in last set. I mean, in the set before that, we saw Pawn Stars really laying it on thick in their games. They looked really, really strong. And then Chalkit walks up and looks even stronger. That mentality carries on into this game too, as they take that early game off of Xavier Hope. Although it was a 2-1, not a 2-0. So we know Xavier Hope are players that can contend here. So the question is, how are they going to be able to do it? We don't see Doctor Strange portals trying to get into the backline. We're holding on to those as like a back pocket re-entry type of situation.
Yep.
The way that they want to crack in there is probably going to be off the back of this Magneto. We need to find a pick either onto one of the strategists, or if DeSolo gets a little too antsy, try to take them off the board.
That's true. On Potato TV, I wouldn't be surprised to see him find that first blood. Has lined himself up into a corridor here off on the left and is looking for headshots onto the backliners. That Loki heal is down now as well, and that might present an opportunity for potentially AJ and Potato TV to push up together and start finding some DPS onto this Loki and the Lunar Snow. And exactly as I said, AJ pushes up, starts finding a lot of damage onto this Namor as well, and the rest of his team are going to follow in quickly here as pushed back are Chalker, but not for long as E-Crush gets his ultimate off into the backline. McLegends is going to transform here as well and prevent his team from being completely pushed off of the point. But Oink, look at the space that he's creating there onto XL0. Down goes the healer, but DeSolo trades it out onto Potato TV as final OP on this point, healing inside of his ultimate, and Vashon going to use that Cloak and Dagger ultimate to create some space for his team and find that kill.
I mean, initially I was thinking that it was going to look pretty good for Xavier to push there, taking a strategist out, but nope, it is not. Chalk, it holds the line, wipes the floor with everybody involved, as now it does look like Xavier Hope needs to try to think of a new way to get in here. Are we going to see that Doctor Strange portal? Are we going to walk it back up? I really thought that maybe DeSolo would push a little bit too far, and that would be Xavier Hope's chance to kind of break the line and get in there. We did see that, you know, AJ's had good follow-up off of what Oink was doing, but you really can't trade your Doctor Strange for anybody. Nope. Magneto ult gets blocked. You are kidding me.
AJ in trouble now as DeSolo's in the backline and finds two. Oink is going to trade off onto Vashon there as Viper picks off Oink in response, looking for more now as AJ will go down. And it's another great hold here on the defense for its Chalk. DeSolo finds final OP at the end there. I was going to say, Musi, that going into that fight, Xavier had 4 ultimates available to the 0 ults for Chalk there. Now, though, with the fight going so well in favor of Chalk, they've got 3 ultimates up. Xavier have less, and they have to push into the point again. 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock here, Musi.
You're telling me that Chalk lost to Xavier's last week? I wouldn't have believed it. Yeah, you know, I still kind of don't believe it. Xavier haven't really had their chance to get in here yet. I'm wondering, how do we do it? Because Chalk is just looking so strong here. Bubblecup finds one. Tato finds another. Is this the moment?
This could be it here. Chalkert being forced back off the point. Xavier Hope should be able to get their hands on it. Viper might try to push through here, but Oink is creating so much space. XL0, can he touch inside the Lunar Ultimate? No! Barely misses the mark. It was a second away from being able to touch, but you've used 2 huge support ultimates there. McLegends transformed into Lunar Snow as well. This is not what you want to see if you're Chalkert fans right now, because realistically, Xavier Hope have a free push on you when you have no support ults right now.
And Xavier Hope, you know for a fact that they are hungry to take this lead for as far as they can. Tato's going to find one. Viper goes down, and AJ's finds another one. The push is good here from Xavier Hope. And Oink, Final, Tato, Tamer, they all have ultimates available. That Eye of Agamotto is going to be what you need to keep your eyes out for, but keep in mind, Crush has it available too. And DeSolo with the ult as well. I do see the potential that Chalk has to put an end to this push. I mean, man, Xavier, what a way to turn around in the nick of time too. They've only got 2 minutes left to make this push. And Chalk just needs to stop him once. That's kind of it. Oh, that's not how you do it, though. DeSolo killed in their ultimate.
Oh, no, Agamotto was too strong from Oink there. Immediately 2-3 kills in favor of Xavier Hope. Bubblecup finds XL0 as well. What an excellent fight here for Xavier Hope. Triple kill for Potato TV. They're going to push through the final part of this checkpoint and get themselves 2 on the board. Now, 3 minutes on the clock as well, just barely touching with that portal, but E-Crush was not able to get through it in time, and that's really not great here. In fact, it's going to be the usage of the portal there for Xavier Hope to try to get some punish off onto E-Crush and the rest of his team.
They overstep just a little bit. Chalk is able to find a couple of return kills, and this last push is such a doozy for the attacking side because the respawn point is right there, right next to the finish line. So Xavier needs to have, honestly, a wipe in order to get that last push on there. It's going to be Oink. It's going to be AJ's, you know, the Hela and the Doctor Strange, big team dictating ultimates to say, all right, everybody's dead. Let's get this push. But everybody from Chalk has their ultimates except DeSolo. Crush dies with his. A good push here from Xavier Hope.
Oink finds a triple kill, and that's what you want from your Strange. Quadra kill for Oink. He's gone huge on the Doctor Strange, and that's what he needed to do. This is a massive push now, and now setting up these portals as well. He might be able to stop the respawns from coming through. It's a little bit late, unfortunately, so everyone should be able to get through the door, but if anyone dies now, they're going to be slowed down on their respawn. Viper has to do so much work. He has his ultimate available.
There's two.
2 kills already as Potato finds one for himself. Bubblecar is going to use that. Lunar Style ultimate. E-Crush, though, gets into the back line and picks off one, but Potato finds another. They're trapped inside that point. Maybe the Strange portal is already down, but low health are falling. Yeah, there goes that portal very quickly. E-Crush finds AJ, but he's dying for it. No one here to touch on Chalk It. Finally, they get their hands on the point, but Oink is pushed up far and looking for value. Nemuro into the back line as DeSolo is there and finds Tamer. Is it enough, though? Potato has so much DPS available to him. Can DeSolo pick him off first? Musi, it's going crazy.
I mean, Xavier has about a minute left for this push. I would honestly like for them just to back up for a sec and try to re-engage. Instead, it's just going to be that all-out brawl. Oink has the Eye of Agamotto. He's going to let it rip.
Oh, good use of the Eye of Agamotto. He's going to pick off a shot immediately, but XL0 turns it around. One support down as Potato TV picks off the other one. Great pick so far, but DeSolo is going to come in and look for Potato. Namor, though, doesn't take fights lightly. Viper, however, counters it out with a pick off onto that Hela. Now, Potato looking for E-Crush here. Ultimate is available for this Namor. Will he be able to find it into the backline here as E-Crush finds one and Viper another? This is a great hold for Chalk so far. Final OP, though, touching the point alongside his Loki healer here. E-Crush gets another. He's gone massive on the Strange. Musi, it's Chalk a holding.
They've got less than 30 seconds. He crushed 30% away from his ultimate. If Agamotto would be exactly what Chalk needs to hold it. Tamer switches over to that Luna Snow, so you can imagine the fate of the world's going to come out. This push is what Xavier needs, but can they make it happen? E-Crush doesn't have the eye, neither does Oink, but AJ's is in the sky.
Hela is up. Damage off onto Viper, but he goes immediately immune here as McLegends fires off this Lunar Snow ultimate and keeps his team alive. It's a good trade of ults so far as DeSolo is looking into the backline here, but he's been countered out by that opposing Lunar Snow ultimate. A lot of healing and sustain coming down as the Namor and the use of the Doctor Strange ult by E-Crush. McLegends finds 1, 3 kills immediately for Chalk It, and they're looking for more. E-Crush in a great position to do some damage to this Namor as down goes final OP. Doctor Strange won't last too much longer. Chalk It hold, Musi, and it's right at the end, but it's a good hold for them.
Wow, even though Xavier Hope had that invisible boundary trying to get some sustain to stay on the point, just not enough. Chalk is on fire right now. Oh my goodness, this team is going nuts. How do you slow them down? How do you stop this force? It looks like anything that they do, they can just make it happen. They instantly lock in the same composition. They know it feels good. They know how to play it. I honestly think when we move on into the next match here, win or lose, Xavier needs to do something about this magic. This DeSolo is kind of crazy to deal with. You gotta maybe instead of a storm ban, maybe try to take out magic. Maybe tell me that you're comfortable trying to kill a storm, because magic has been doing such a good job harassing these strategists and putting damage onto the back line. And Viper is Viper. That's gonna happen no matter what happens. They're going to be on Moon Knight. They're going to be on Namor. You can't outban Viper. Maybe we can try to target ban DeSolo or something like that. And try to make a plan from there, because whatever we're doing right now, it's not working. I imagine Chalk will have a solid defense here, and maybe they lose this first point, but I really don't know how Xavier can turn this around without some drastic changes to their composition.
or portal is immediately going to be used here by Oink to scope out what E-Crush is doing. If he can place this right, he can completely cancel out the opposing ult from E-Crush. Instead, though, Oink is going to place it straight away and look to immediately do some damage onto the opposing team. E-Crush forced out of that portal, and it's completely slowed down the push here for Chalker. This is a great play so far from Xavier Hope, but without this, now that the portal is going down, it's just a bit of a reset here for Chalker, and they're going to start walking up to the point pretty quickly.
And I do believe that Oink had tried to get a portal off there as well, so they can't sneak there to the back line. So they just have to walk it down the front there. I wonder how you crack the shell that is, XL0 and McLegends, these characters, Vashon as well, these strategists. You can't take them out because E-Crush is right there, ready to defend them and just put out so much damage. DeSolo is going to harass that back line. Everything is looking so good for Chalk right now. It's not going to stop Xavier from trying to go for something, though.
Potato TV is positioning so well to try to punish out the way that DeSolo is playing. He's keeping an eye on that left side for where the Magic likes to run it down and get into the back line there as looking for those healers. Lunar Snow ultimate used here as AJ is going to get into the back line and find himself that first kill of the round. McLegends goes down as AJ finds a double kill, and Oink looking for Vashon will be able to find it. In trouble now is E-Crush as he goes down, and it's a good defense so far for Xavier Hope. 2 minutes 30 seconds left on the clock for this push. DeSolo positioned poorly. He's actually going to be staggered here.
Solo, I imagine he's just going to kind of hang around. As long as nobody tries to chase him out, he should be okay. Right as I say that, though, Potato, the shots are good, but the damage is not quite there. DeSolo's got to go find a health pack or something before he can re-engage. That's not great for Chalk. They're going to be down that player. Their push is going to be a little stunted. DeSolo is off in the back rooms at this point. I don't know where they've ended up. Doesn't matter, though. Chalk's going nuts.
Wow, Chalker, despite being a player down, are going to get 2 kills here, and Viper's going crazy. Oink is going to find that Eye of Agamotto into the back line, but immediately countered out here by the use of the Lunar Snow ultimate. Oink going to try and push forward and use a little bit of his DPS here, but without his ult, it's hard to get kills. Not for Potato, though, as Oink and Potato combo together and find 3 immediately. Great use of the Nomura ultimate. Potato holding firm, and DeSolo. If he just died earlier, his team wouldn't have been down a player. Instead, he finally dies now. 1:30 left on the clock. Xavier Hope are doing such a good job in the defense of this first point, Musi. How on earth did Chalker get in?
I honestly want to see E-Crush with a portal and then float in Eye of Agamotto. That feels like a path to victory that is easily achievable and easy to execute for a player like E-Crush. But because they don't have a lot of offensive ults to follow up on it, it's kind of risky. I feel like somebody shook Xavier Hope awake and said, hey, you guys are like supposed to win this. You're slated to win this. Come on, let's get up and go. And they're up. They're moving. They're looking pretty good. E-Crush has the eye, but when are they going to let it rip?
He needs to find his position into the backline here. He's able to find a few healers and get them in trouble, but this Hela ultimate has a lot of potential. Looking for the healers in the backline. Won't be able to find too much damage there, for AJ, as E-Crush is in, but he can see Oink completely blocking him off from that pathway to get off an Eye of Agamotto, and he's taken down by Bubble Car. No value there for E-Crush, and final OP inside of his ultimate is holding firm at 20 seconds on the clock as Vashon goes down. It has to be. It's a portal play or nothing here, Musi. It's the only option left now for Chalkert. They're going to take it and use it. 10 seconds on the clock. E-Crush, no ultimate available. They have to touch the point here. Frozen and pushed away from the point. Inside of that portal, though. It's a great play so far from Xavier Hope to prevent the push in here, as Viper is going to finally get through and use his ultimate. E-Crush does find Potato TV. It's a great pick so far. Viper looking for damage into the backline here as Oink shielding off everything he can inside of this Lunar Snow ultimate. AJ waiting for damage to end as Oink finds one. McLegend finds another, and DeSolo is going to pick off Bubble Cart there. McLegend healing his team for the best of his abilities. Double kill for DeSolo. The Magic's gone big. Oink has gone bigger. No, triple kill for the Magic. It's a great push for Chalk. Quadra kill for DeSolo, and they're going to get this point in the overtime, Musi.
The desperation play from Chalkit is enough. The adrenaline to stay in the match will earn them that first point. Kind of a Hail Mary that they threw out with that Doctor Strange portal. I'm surprised that Xavier Hope kind of lost it at the end there. Now they have to contend with this cart to push forward, but Chalk only has a couple of minutes to make this push. It was a lot of resistance that they were met with from Xavier Hope, even to get this far, but E-Crush is looking better and better as time goes on. DeSolo as well really showed up in that last team fight. The Magic Ultimate was good, but they do get picked up by Oink there. You know, every dog has its day, it would seem.
It does indeed, and Potato a little bit low here, but he's in a great position to be able to do some DPS, has his healers around him as well, and this is the kind of place that you want to be positioning, especially for AJ and Potato, where they're able to get this high ground, get some good headshot damage off, and with Hella Ultimate available as well, it's a nice and comfortable defense here for Xavier Hope. Ball is really in the court here of Chalker to try to find a position and push through. E-Crush has his ult, but Oink is just blocking him off completely. Ultimate out from Viper is good though as DeSolo picks up Bubble Car. DeSolo is actually going to push himself back towards his team. Viper goes down as the Hella Ultimate comes out and finds one. The Strange Shield can't block it forever, and more kills coming down. This is a great position for his team to be in, but 3 members holding firm so far as DeSolo gets another kill and E-Crush finds one. They're in trouble here. Chalker are doing so well on this push, Musi.
I mean, Oink 2 trying to let loose with that Eye of Agamotto. E-Crush has got one of his own. A big, not big enough. Look at the healing coming out, the strategist from Xavier Hope. They're just putting in the work. They're working that overtime. That paycheck's going to be huge by the end of this match. You better believe you can get yourself like 3 whole candy bars with that. Steam gift cards on the line. The part move forward. And good lord, the health bar's moving up and down, but nobody's dying quite yet. Scratch that, 2 down.
3 as Oink picks off DeSolo there, but it was a good enough dive to be able to trade 2 for 1 for as Oink is trying to protect his team with that shield. They're in the choke point now, but they have to now walk all the way around to the opposing choke point. If E-Crush is standing there, but he's not, he doesn't know that they're coming from this opposing choke point, but the wall is turned around on and they're going to get this checkpoint. It's a great play here. Oink is probably going to be staggered as well. He has to back off very quickly with that shield. E-Crush maybe a little bit too far forward now, but Chalk it. They've managed to get this second checkpoint. They've got 1.5 minutes to push through to the end here. We're just shy of the end here, Musi. It's a dream story for them if they can get this. If they can win this game, it's absolutely massive to take a 2-0 lead. But Xavier Hope are not done yet. They're holding firm, they're taking these fights, and they're making it hard, Musi.
I mean, Tamer's going to have ultimate soon. Oink not too far behind them. Those are great tools to have. Viper, though, does not care. Gets an early pick there. Xavier Hope has the ability to stop it, but Chalk, they're just not, it's gas pedal all the way through, and E-Crush almost has that Eye of Agamotto as well. You can imagine that's gonna really set the pace here. Walks up, blocks the ult from AJ's. It is destruction here, but Xavier has 4 more ults in the pocket to use.
DeSolo does go down there, not enough shield from the Doctor Strange to block off the entirety of AJ's ultimate. Eye of Agamotto is good though. Viper picks up one of a shot, another, and it was on Potato who was positioned perfectly to start picking off healers on that high ground. McLegends has his ultimate as we're going to see the Lunar Snow is trading back and forth. Tamer in position to use his own ult as well as Bubblecar going to use this Lunar Snow ult, and the dance to save time does come down as Oink respawning and coming into the point here. Viper though has this whale and DeSolo is going to get into the back line. I'm expecting the whale to come down, and down it does come, but Potato gets one and AJ another. DeSolo does finally pick off final OP, and also Bubblecar there as Oink picks off E-Crush, and it's back and forth across the board. DeSolo's in a hard pressed position here though to pick off anybody else now that this Namor is here and he doesn't have any healing. Portal coming down as we're in overtime, Musi. They've got seconds left barely to touch this point.
The portal play for the Hail Mary once again shoved out by the invisible woman. Oh my god. Oh, you hate to see that. The Hail Mary struck down from the sky. Xavier Hope are going to tie this up.
1-1 on the board, Musi. It could not be closer between these two teams. It was right at the end there in that overtime. We saw that excellent Eye of Agamotto come out from E-Crush. He deserved that SVP, but Oink earned himself the MVP. He got himself a quadra kill, and it kind of just came down to comfortable healing, AJ being able to consistently get kills, and Potato being able to consistently get kills. Crazy game back and forth though, Musi.
100%. You really got to shout out Final Op in that last moment, shoving Chalk it in their portal. That is mean.
I've never been so stressed out in my life other than seeing that.
That's so unfortunate. You gotta imagine that Chalk is just sitting there like, dude, oh my god.
Yeah.
was so unlucky.
It feels awful.
Oh, it's just well played by Xavier Hope. They're awake. They're awake. They might have lost that first game, but we're tying it up the second game. The momentum from Chalkit has ceased. It is now the battle of the Titans to decide who gets to come out on top. And remember, Chalkit has so much more work to do than Xavier Hope because they have to win that bracket reset after the fact.
Well, they're in position to try to here. We are 1-1, but the momentum might now be swinging in favor of Xavier Hope after they found that win. It would be nice to be able to go back and get a bit of a replay on that last game. I'm not sure if we'll be able to go and see it, but I want to catch that quad that DeSolo got on the Magic. It looked so good, and it really won the fight for his team there for Chalkit. It was in the overtime, Musi. It was the last second. It was through that portal, and I really want to highlight the way that DeSolo played it because, you know, his entire team took Xavier Hope by surprise. They got in off that portal, and it was just the way that DeSolo positioned to be able to find himself that quadra kill that looked so strong. They weren't able to get the win, but let's have a quick look at DeSolo getting his quadra kill here.
So you see him walk up here, jumping around, feeling good. The portal comes out. Look at the way he finds his way in.
The pushback straight away feels awful, by the way, on that Doctor Strange. And look at him, he's in there. He's waited for the Lunar Snow. So he timed it for the Lunar Snow ultimate to kind of come to its end. And now he's just waiting. Straight into the ultimate. And it's just consistent damage across the board. He's managed to position himself to find these healers. And AJ doesn't have... Oh, he did use his immunity there. I didn't think he had his bird, but he goes down anyway.
Yeah, and what's important, too, is that while DeSolo is able to, you know, pick up these kills... I think it was Excel Zero finds another one. So two strategists hit the floor, really opens up the play potential for DeSolo to get those last few kills. The sustain has been completely neutered, and Magic is just able to swing around her giant magic sword and win Chalkit that initial point.
Now, I want to talk about this, though, Musi, that despite the fact that DeSolo got that quad, it was what was necessary just to get the first point in overtime there for Chalkit. It was a close game, don't get me wrong, but Xavier Hope felt in control almost the entirety of that game. You said it yourself, they're awake, they're locked in, they're ready to go. And I think Chalkit really have an uphill battle now to be able to take it to Xavier Hope at this point.
Well, and we talked about it too, how it's a little bit different for these, you know, convergence games where you have to take the point, then you have to push that payload, as opposed to those domination games where you can earn a lot just off of one kill. For these payload pushes, you need more than just one kill. You got to win an entire fight. Staggering is not as effective on these maps. And Chalkit is great at staggering, but maybe falls a little bit short in the team wipe category. We're really relying, I think, especially on eCrush to make these massive Eye of Agamotto plays. And if Xavier Hope is ready for that response to play around that fact, they're going to be able to win those fights and be a little bit stronger on the cart pushes and on the convergence maps.
Look, in Musi, it's a hard position to be in as a Doctor Strange. You have to time yourself around the ultimates from Lunar Snows, from Cloak and Daggers, from Loki's. But when you're versing another very competent Doctor Strange who knows how you want to position, like Oink, he's standing. He knows when your ultimate's up. He's timed it out. He knows what he's doing. And he's standing right next to those healers, ready to shield them at all times. But Musi, we're ready for game number 3 here between Xavier Hope and Chalkit. Let's get in and find out if we're going to retie this one up or if Xavier Hope can really start running away with the set.
It is we are tied domination.
We're 1-1, right?
Yeah, we're 1-1.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited.
It's tied already. It's a tiebreaker now.
Yeah.
Well, and we're back here at domination map, so it's got to feel good for Chalkit. And we're already, again, these bands look very familiar. Storm, Spider-Man, we've talked about it before.
We sure have.
Like, Spider-Man, he's friendly, he's neighborhood, he's
Spider-Man.
Storm's first character, triple strategist, yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
Once again, the Magic protect for...
Wow, DeSolo.
Yeah, DeSolo. If you gotta feel good, you want that in your pocket every single time.
Yep. it almost feels like they might be relying too heavily on it. And the reason I say that, Musi, is because DeSolo did look good there. We just highlighted his quadra kill, but he knows he has to know that he's playing into a Namor here. He has to know that he's dealing with his counter pick. And despite how good he might have looked on that Magic last game, every time he died, it was to a Namor. And while he was trying to dive. Moon Knight, though, is going to be banned here. So Viper's not getting what he wants, Musi.
And man, Moon Knight getting banned. We're keeping DeSolo on this Magic. I almost wonder if we want to protect Moonlight and see what Viper can do with them and see how well that changes. We are going to ban away the Namor. So it does mean that DeSolo gets a little bit more value off of this Magic pick because Namor's off the field. You're able to dive a little bit better there. So you got that going for you. I am curious to see, though, Xavier Hope running an entirely different composition, Iron Fist and Adam Warlock. I'm waiting for what Final Op wants to pick because that is going to be what really tells me what's going on here. Potatoes on the Winter Soldier. I like what I'm seeing. I like seeing change. I like seeing people switch it up and see what works. Tamers on Rocket Raccoon.
We haven't talked about this yet, but we're on another domination map here. And this is where Chalkit really shined in their first game of this set. They just completely dominated Xavier Hope on the domination map. If they're able to pull off the same thing on this domination map, then I would be very concerned if I was Xavier Hope, knowing how difficult it will be to come back from a 2-1 position. Is AJ going to switch off? Yeah, he's going the heller. He really had us going for a second there.
I was a believer. I was like, okay, well, Iron Fist, you punch people really hard, and after you punch him, you punch him again. And you have a black eye, and punch him some more.
But no, apparently
you're just gonna shoot him with a sword. Yeah, we're moving on from that, I guess. But yeah, these domination maps do feel pretty good for Chalk. But you have to imagine the flip side. What happens if Xavier Hope wins this map? Chalk thing, the mental gets absolutely shaken. Not yet, though. E-Crush finds AJ's, and it's a good start for Chalk.
Oh, look at the positioning of Potato as well, though. He's managed to find one and do damage to another two there. E-Crush, though, will pick off Bubblecar. It's a great kill for him as Oink is trying to look for DeSolo, but he doesn't win this 1v1. He does go down, in fact, as Viper turns around and finds that damage. E-Crush, 10 HP on the point, will go down to Potato TV, but Viper manages to stay on, get the kill onto final OP here. He will go down, but not before DeSolo gets back on. Neither team have managed to cap this point yet. I'd say, though, with DeSolo going down here, that Xavier Hope are likely to finally get their hands on this one and stop the push in from Chalkit.
And with that Adam Warlock that they've drafted for themselves here, holding this point will be a little bit easier. You do have the reses, and because Star-Lord is on your team as well, you can let Potato get a little aggressive, die, fall back, resurrect, get healed, go back in. So Xavier Hope has a great hold here. Viper's going to move on to the Magneto, so you have a little bit more push. A lot of walls between Magneto and E-Crush on this Doctor Strange. So you can tell Chalkit staying light on their feet. They're ready to switch. They're ready to change. Really, it's just going to be all eyes on E-Crush and DeSolo to see how this fight's going to go.
DeSolo does get into the backline and finds a little bit of damage before being healed up. Viper finds a double kill, though, with his ultimate. Triple kill for the Magneto. That's where you want to be, as Bubblecard does go down there. Trade it off one, does Xavier Hope, but in trouble is Potato TV. And recapping this point for the first time this game are Chalkit. Great kills, good use of the Magneto. I love that Viper isn't just necessarily a DPS player. He's currently on this Magneto. He's finding kills on it, so he looks like a DPS player, but he's able to really switch around what he plays and his style, and it makes it very hard to respond to for Xavier here.
And that Viper ult was critical there too, taking out Tamer before Adam Warlock has a chance to let that ultimate rip. Because a lot of what made Xavier Hope look so good on that hold was the fact that you had Adam Warlock ult just in case anything went sour. But if your Adam Warlock gets absolutely one shot by a Magneto, there's not too much you can do there. E-Crush knock that hell out of the sky, blocks it off. Things are looking good for Chalk.
McLegend's going to use this ultimate, transforms into the Lunar Snow and forces it out of Bubble Car as well. So back and forth do go the healing Lunar Snows. Solo's trying to get into the backline, but he has to back off a little bit here as Oink is creating space for his team, has this Eye of Agamotto and waiting out the healing. Eye of Agamotto will connect here. However, Lunar Snow ultimates will hold firm as Oink is not able to find any kills, and instead Solo finally picks off final OP. Potato TV, though, he is legendary, but Viper does not care. He finds 2. Potato TV counters it out, though. 2 of his own. Heals up on the pack here, looking for XL0. Viper trying to find DPS as he pulls his shield up. Potato TV, he's weaving and dodging through people, but it's AJ that finds himself a double. And now, with only Viper left, this point is going to go back in favor of Xavier Hope. Portal out from E-Crush, though. This could be an opportunity to immediately turn it around here for Chalkit.
Agamotto available for E-Crush. Portal does not matter, though. Xavier holds the line. Potato, it's literally shooting fish in a barrel here. They're just right outside the spawn. What are you supposed to do about that, man?
Yeah.
As Oink throws up the shield. Nobody's able to get through. The portal shut off. The Solo gets abandoned. Not looking good here. Xavier Hope gonna tie up this game about 80% to 80%, but Tamer and AJ are the only ones with ults available. Eye of Agamotto is available for Crush, and we know what this player can do with that ultimate.
That's very true. Just needs to find that positioning. Is 87% on the point now. DeSolo should be back in position, which gives Chalkit the opportunity to start pushing in. E-Crush taking a lot of damage here, and Tamer doing his best to heal through all of it. McLegens is going to fire off his own ultimate as Vashon pushes through immediately, looking for damage onto Tamer here. E-Crush into the backline, pushed away! In his ultimate, Viper does find 1, but that's a great play, preventing the Eye of Agamotto from having impact. Potato TV finds 1, and it's a double kill as down goes DeSolo. Triple kill for the Star-Lord. Quad for Potato! They're gonna guarantee this point here, and it's an absolutely massive play for the Star-Lord.
Galactic Legend, what an ultimate to rip there. And because Magneto wasn't available to suck up those bullets with his ultimate, the Star-Lord just gets to free cast. Absolutely gnarly. And also critical going into this next point, Tamer still has his ultimate. The Warlock has been holding on to the ultimate ability, which means that if Chalkit gets a good early fight, a good dive, so long as Tamer's able to stay alive, we can let that ult rip, everybody reses up, and then final up can drop that invisible boundary to really turn the tide of the next engagement. Xavier Hope's looking very strong here. Xavier Hope shaking Chalkit to their core, because this is supposed to be Chalkit's house, right? This is supposed to be where Chalkit succeeds the most, but Xavier Hope has made such a strong first impression here. It's going to be really hard to shake that off. You can only imagine that playing for as long as they have and trying to stay relevant and keeping in mind that they also have to get the bracket reset. It's going to start weighing heavy on the mind. Xavier Hope has no such things to hold them back. All they have to do is win 3 games to end this.
It's a hard position to be in now for Chalkit. They have everything on the line in front of them. Excellent start off to this match for them, but Xavier Hope are turning it around game by game. E-Crush portals in over towards the right side here, create space for his team, and they might have an opportunity with this high ground to start touching. E-Crush, though, has to jump away into the air. He's not getting enough healing here on this Doctor Strange. Finally, the Loki is going to create some space for his team on that point. His final OP is really doing his best to keep his team alive. DeSolo will fall, though. AJ able to clean up that early kill. This is what Xavier Hope need to start capping early, and that's what they want on this domination. Potato picks off another one. You cannot let him pop off like this. Xavier are going to cap the point first. No, Vashon's here. Vashon only picks up 1. He's holding.
Oh. Can he? For how long, though, is the real question. Right. It won't be for too long. And Tamer, the more I see it, the more I'm liking this Adam Warlock pick, because you know what else it can do besides all the healing and the reses? That has a lot of damage you can put out. You can put Tamer on Loki clone killing duty and just say, all right, Adam, I just need you to kill those Loki clones, stunt the healing that Chalkit has available, and then just turn around and see if you can poke down to Solo or anything like that. A lot of ultimates available, every ultimate available here for Xavier Hope. DeSolo's gonna let his rip. Oink opens the eye.
The eye is open as AJ picks off one. Final OP trying to find some damage onto Viper. He's too far forward on that Magneto, but E-Crush will trade it out and find Potato. It's a good pick here, but it might not be enough as Oink is creating space. E-Crush into the back though. Finds both of the healers with his ult. Double kill immediately for the Strange, but turned around on as AJ finds his own double here. Great play by the Hela, and it's enough here for Xavier Hope to hold firm. 50% on this point already, and look at where they're holding Chalk it back to. This is such a hard position to put through. They can't wrap around anywhere. There's no space for them. It's a very slow push back into this point now, Musi.
We're just waiting for E-Crush to have their portal again, so maybe we can have a different angle of attack for this push. But because we use the portals right away, we're not going to have that option available to us. And Xavier Hope still has 4 ultimates available to hold the line. AJ's looking pretty low. Is it going to be time for Tamer to let loose the ultimate?
Ultimate coming down from a 6 health Hela, trying to punish out these Lunar Snow heals, and will find one. XL0 goes down. AJ looking for damage as McLegends is going to transform straight into this Lunar Snow and get off another ultimate. Potato TV is finding damage, but not before Viper picks off one. I wonder if that was his ultimate countering out that Star-Lord ult. Tamer, though, will get his ult off and immediately res back up Final OP. So healers are here, and Viper goes down. Final OP is providing enough healing here that Potato TV can pick off McLegends, and with all of this pressure, it's going to be 2-0 on this domination map, maybe touching actually with that Lunar Snow ult. It's not over yet. Vashon finds one. AJ though picks it off in counter. Tamer is going to revive himself here. Is the Doctor Strange portal soon enough, Musi?
I mean, who's all going to be able to walk through it? You do have E-Crush, but not too much beyond that. Solo finds one.
The Solo and Viper, they're going to find 2 and start capping back this point. Still touching for now, Xavier Hope. There's no way, Musi, 99%. The overtime was nearly over. Potato TV turns it around, though. We're inside the invisible ultimate here as Viper is pushed back off that point for just a moment. And it just takes barely the tiniest bit of pushback to start recapping this point here. Viper, though, is going to find Potato TV after he gets that kill onto XL0. It's so back and forth, Musi.
It's so back and forth, but the favor is so heavily skewed towards Xavier Hope. I would honestly say, back up for a second. You have the... Oh, wait, hold on. Oink's got Eye of Agamotto. That could be exactly what they need to turn this fight around. Oink finds Vashon. Bubblecup finds another one. It's looking good for Xavier.
Oh, Viper is able to trade it out onto Final OP, so a healer is down and the Solo's coming back here. McLegends is in the area, but Potato TV has his ultimate and he's finding kill after kill. Down goes XL0 in favor of Potato TV. Double kill. 2-0 in the domination map, and now 2-1 on this tournament, on this grand finals in favor of Xavier Hope.
Oh my goodness, dude. Holy cats. Xavier Hope. It's a different team from when this set even started. Yeah, it feels like the longer it goes, it's that guy. He's like, I understand it now, and they make that slam dunk. I mean, Potato really showed up that game. MVP rightfully earned, and AJ's as well. But my eyes are on Tamer. This Adam Warlock pick, I think, really did well. What a special pick here. And it really showed up in that second match. The res was huge, and being able to enable Potato with self-reses, I think it was really smart. It lets Potato kind of free play a little bit, play a little bit looser, play a little bit more aggressive. So with that, I just want to say that I do really enjoy the Adam Warlock pick, and Chalk It needs to find a different strategy going forward. 2-1 is not a position you want to be in here. You got to try to take it to a 2-2 as soon as possible and make a mad dash to that bracket reset.
Very, very true. And now for Chalk It, really, the ball is entirely in their court. It is one more win away for Xavier Hope to be able to lock this tournament up, win the grand finals completely, and close it out. Chalk It have literally everything on the line right now. We're at match point, and it's such a difficult pushback. But Musi, I think that it might just be a mental reset. Yeah, they're probably feeling some fatigue coming through, and it's a little bit difficult. But I think, honestly, you take 5 minutes right now. The game's not going anywhere. Take a little break, reset yourself, and come back in with the energy that you had in game 1 against Xavier Hope, because they looked dominant in that first game.
They did. And honestly, I think a lot of it too is what we're prioritizing in picks and bans. I think the Magic is putting in a lot of work, but I want to see a little bit of a switch up. Let's try to get the Moon Knight in there. The Hands of Khonshu is an ability, that ultimate, that can really just swing a fight. The damage that you put out is so good, especially into the triple healers.
Hmm.
Like something like that, I think is going to be really successful. I don't foresee Xavier Hope banning away Magic. I I don't see it happening, right?
No.
Maybe if we protect the Moon Knight, then we force the Magic ban. But I think that's a trade that potentially we're willing to see. Chalk it. We got to
Yeah.
try to juggle the balls a little bit here. We got to switch it up.
Yeah, look, I almost want to see a protect coming out for this Moon Knight and let Viper just completely pop off. This is his opportunity, and when you're getting to this point, you know that that Moon Knight is getting banned last. If you protect this Magic again, yeah, DeSolo does pretty well on the Magic, but I expect that there's other picks that he can play decently well too, or to, good,
Mhm.
very well, probably, I would say, given the level that we're playing at here. But
There
you
are
know
other
that
melee characters to
there
play,
are
but
many of them, and you know that Viper pops off on that Moon Knight. Let him have it. Give yourself back a little bit of space to be able to play with, and a little bit of comfort for Viper potentially, and give your team that opportunity to just pop off. I almost would be tempted to ban Doctor Strange, to be honest with you. Sure, E Crush does well on it, but
yeah.
Oink does better.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, just a something to shake things up, right? Try to put the other team off balance. We're very reliant on Doctor Strange in every composition that we've seen so
Hmm.
far. Take it away. Let's force some people onto Magneto,
Yep.
maybe Hulk. Maybe we could even pivot all the way over to something like Captain America or Thor. Thor's
Yeah.
another wonderful character that's able to bring a lot of burst potential. You can rock it with Storm as well. Now you have
Hmm.
even more damage on your side.
Yep.
I think you're right on the money. I think a Doctor Strange band would be really fun to see, really interesting, and also what we need. We need to change the pace of these games. We change the pace of these fights, and that starts with the Vanguard picks.
I think so, Muzi, and in favor here, or with the opportunity on their hands, are Chalk It, because they know that Viper can play this Magneto. So if you take away that Doctor Strange, you leave yourself an excellent Magneto player, and you open the door for other potential picks that you can force onto other players, but you take it away from Oink, and that's really, really crucial. We'll have to see, though. We will be getting into game number 4 shortly between Chalk It and Xavier Hope. We're not too far off, but Musi, it's been a wild ride to get to where we're at right now. Let's go and have a quick look over at the bracket one more time before we get into our fourth and maybe our final game here between these two teams. Look at the journey that we went through.
I mean, even from where we began tonight, we talked about how Pawn Stars had to crawl their way all the way back, and
Hmm.
Chalk It and Xavier Hope, last time they played, Xavier Hope 2-0 Chalk It. Right now, we're looking at a 2-1. So Chalk It is already doing better in the set than they did last time. But Xavier Hope, last time they fought Chalk It, it was a dominant victory, right? That 2-0 speaks volumes, right? But Chalk It, they're not out of this yet. They want that bracket reset.
They are desperate for that bracket reset, and if anyone has earned it, it is them. Obviously, they have to continue trying to earn it here by winning multiple more games in a row. They really need to come out with a reverse sweep here. It is do or die right now for Chalk It, but they have earned their way back into this place. They lost to Xavier Hope in the semifinals, and immediately in these grand finals, they took him for a ride, took him into a 1-0 position, looking excellent, beating down Pawn Stars. I'm almost rooting for Chalk It, but Xavier Hope are just looking so consistent, Musi.
Well, and two, you mentioned it at the start of that game, and I think it's worth talking about again. How domination definitely looks like Chalk It's ball game.
Mm,
That's where they find their successes. That's where they're going to find their victory. Unfortunately, it is a swift
yep.
2-0 from Xavier Hope on that last domination. So now you're Chalk It fan. You're wondering, where do we find the win? What is our playing field? Where are we comfortable? How can we get the W? And it's only a question that's going to get answered once we get in game. But it's looking very good for Xavier Hope. Xavier Hope has overcome the initial domination kind of, oh, maybe they're not as strong here. They looked pretty strong on that cart push. So I don't think Chalk gets out of it by any stretch of the imagination. This is a team that we've seen perform, and
Yep.
we know that they have very strong players. But I don't know how many times I could say it. We got to shake something up. The pattern that we're falling into right now is not the one that we want to keep. We got to change the playing field. We got to change the characters. We got to change these bands.
Yeah, this is exactly the time where you need to be shaking things up. We saw when we watched or I know you weren't there for that, but the grand finals or the grand finals of the Asia tournament. We saw very, very sudden switch ups on picks and taking teams by surprise with those quick switch ups. It was bringing in the Adam Warlock from one of those teams out of nowhere when triple support wasn't really being played yet that made all the difference in the world in those grand finals. So now I think that potentially, if In can come chalk it here and take by surprise Xavier Hope, that could make all the difference in the world. That could be the impactful play that kind of throws Xavier Hope off their game. And you have to play the mental game when you're playing a game like this.
And I honestly think that making those fast, sudden switches, trying to stay light on your feet, does contribute to that mental game, because you can definitely shake things up if you just make a switch to like, I don't know, we're just gonna full tilt into a dive comp, jump on them and kill them. Maybe they're not ready for that. Maybe that's what you have to do. You lull people into a pattern, a play pattern of, okay, we walk up, we have Eye of Agamotto. Okay, we invisible boundary first. Okay, we've got our cloak and dagger roll. Let's put that down. Okay, we know the flow chart. We know the ability that we have to use, or the order that we have to use our abilities in.
Yep.
Switch it up. New variables, new abilities to add to the mix.
Yep.
What are they going to do about a Venom? I don't know. Probably kill him once he lands down. But you
Probably,
have to make them acknowledge that, right? What if we throw Captain America at them? I don't know. Kill him, maybe, yeah. But you have to make them acknowledge that. You have to get them to start thinking outside of the box. You have to break patterns, or else they're just going to read you every single time.
Well, Musi, we are finally in position here for game number 4 of the grand final for the OCE weekly tournaments. It is between Chalkit and Xavier Hope. We are 2-1 in favor of Xavier Hope right now. One game away, potentially, from it all being over if Xavier can take this win. Picks, bans, and saves here. Musi, where are they going to go? We've given our expectations, but now it's time to see what happens in reality. It's a storm ban straight away, just like it has been. Xavier don't necessarily need to shake things up. It's Chalkit that we want to see shaking things up. They're going to ban the Spider-Man, though.
Spider-Man, we're protecting. Don't do it. Come on. I think we need Moon Knight here. I think we protect Moon Knight. We need to let Viper go crazy on this Moon Knight. Y'all, dude, you could tell that
this is the conversation
here because we don't have all Jeffs, right? We're splintering. We're falling apart. Not so. We're protecting Namor.
I'm okay with this so far. The Namor is very, very impactful still. Is going to play that counter dive really well. I just want to see if Viper is going to be on this Namor. I think he really needs to focus down Potato and not let this Star-Lord get infinite value with his ultimate like he did last game. But we have to see where this save is now going to go in favor of Xavier here. And it's going to be towards the Hela.
And did Chalkit ban Namor in the last game as well? So I wonder what the reasoning for the switch is here. I mean, I agree with you. I'm happy to see Namor saved here, protected, because we do know that Viper is very proficient with these Namor ults, especially working with E-Crush, using Eye of Agamotto to bait out some of those strategist ultimates. A little bit of pause here. Luna Snowband, Fate of the World, off the table. The girls are no longer girling.
Wow, and the Star-Lord's no longer Star-Lording.
That's a shakeup. That's what we need. And you know what that means? Moon Knight is available for Viper if they want it. So Xavier Hope, I guess they feel confident going into it. They don't have to do it. But what does this mean for Luna Snow being banned away? Do we stick with the triple strategist composition? I think it still works, right? You have Mantis, which is going to be your other go-to. Cloak and Dagger still lets you hyper sustain. An Invisible Woman or Loki is another good slot to go with that. So that battle plan strategy doesn't change too much, but it does mean that these big bombastic ultimates are going to have more value. Eye of Agamotto's are going to hit that much harder. DeSolo with their Namor ultimate is going to hit that much harder. Notably, Winter Soldiers, the Kraken Impact has a lot of play potential because you cannot Fate of the World it away. Unfortunately for us, the viewers, Potato's going to move over to that magic instead.
Yeah, and he's gonna back and forth us until the last second already.
We're so back!
Well, we are so back on the Potato TV hype train with this Winter Soldier. I'd love for him to be able to run it down with that pick here, and he might just do it. You're right that the Lunar Snow not being here is a great way to guarantee yourself a lot of value with that Kraken Impact. Oink, going to immediately create a lot of space for his team here and prevent Shortcut from walking out very quickly through that corridor that they've chosen to lock themselves into on this pathing. Viper might be in a little bit of trouble here. He really doesn't want to be frontlining on this anymore.
No, you don't want to. Oh, there goes Viper.
There he goes.
Potato finds that first pick. The Winter Soldier things are starting to happen. Xavier Hope, an early win for them onto this point, it would seem. Now, chalk it. You're down. This is the game of games. You got to pull it together and figure out how do we crack in there. Honestly,
crack in there. Kraken.
Yeah, like
Kraken Impact.
Kraken Impact.
Whoa, like that could be an idea.
Oh, wait, you mean to tell me we just pick Winter Soldier? Moon Knight's available and Viper isn't on it. That's all I'm saying right now. Okay, like it's open, it's out there. Just have it.
That's true. Maybe opting to wait a little bit before picking up that Moon Knight, potentially choosing this positioning well for himself as E-Crush is going to come around from the side here. Doesn't quite have his ultimate available and will be stunned out for a moment there by that Hela, creating space for his team, but requiring a lot of healing here as Viper's going to be in a good position to find a little bit of damage off, but E-Crush goes down to final OP. That's not what you want to see from your Doctor Strange here as DeSolo falls too, and Potato is ulting back-to-back. Double kill, triple kill, looking for the Quadra. Can he find it here on Viper? Probably not, but it's a great start for... Never mind, he found it. I was wrong.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep. Well, Potato does well.
Potatoing. Winter Soldier is a character in the game, huh? I mean, because Luna Snow isn't here, because you don't have Fate of the World to negate these massive pushes, it just lets characters like Winter Soldier go absolutely insane. The portal in from E-Crush, but I don't think Xavier Hope is phased at all. They have 4 ultimates available, and they're ready to let them rip.
Oh no, the Namor ultimate not able to find value here as Vashon is going to use that Cloak and Dagger ult on the point and create a lot of sustain for his team on top of it, but AJ's already found one. Viper and McLegends are down, and DeSolo has his ult on this point, but he's looking for the positioning and he just can't find a healer in sight. Eye of Agamotto is available too, so there's a lot of value to be had, but XL, DeSolo, and Vashon all go down. E-Crush falls as well, and this first round is easily going to go in favor of Xavier Hope.
Yeah, Xavier Hope has found their stride. They have locked in, right? That is the gamer terminology, everybody. Xavier Hope have locked in. It is down to this Warrior Falls for Chalk It to turn it around. This is it. This is the game, all right? Anything that you are hiding, any strategy, any idea that you have, it is time to use it. It is time to win this fight, because if they lose it all. Every fight is now an uphill battle for Chalk It, and Xavier Hope is looking like the monster at the top of the hill, like they cannot be defeated. Potato TV has been just going insane, and behind him you have Oink on this Doctor Strange, who is just so consistently proficient. Tamer, Bubble Cup, Final, strategist players that know how to play this game, how to make everything that much harder for their opponents, and Ajaz on this Hela is just a thorn in the side for everybody involved. But we know that Chalk It is capable. Can they do it? Will they do it is the question.
Potato TV frontlining for his team and wants to start off strong on this Winter Soldier. Has to back off a little bit as the solo fires off that ultimate immediately and gets into the backline here, looking for these healers, but he can't find enough DPS as they turn and start healing each other. And Potato TV finds that pull and the kill onto the solo in the ultimate. It's a great start here for Xavier as they're going to start touching that point and look to aggress onto E-Crush here. Has to back off on that Doctor Strange and give himself a little bit of healing. Vashon is starting to push up. He's actually switched over to this Magneto, and it is a good pick there for Viper as Potato TV goes down. AJ outside of that message, a little ultimate as well, but Oink is trying to find value, and he is going to get one. AJ credited with the kill on Big Legends. Healers are falling one by one as E-Crush ultimate into the backline, but he doesn't find any value there.
Doesn't matter. Look, Vashon finds a couple of kills and immediately turned around onto Xavier Hope as they take control here.
The tanks! The tanks!
Oh, wait. Oh, the tanks are tanking!
Oh, but Potato's potatoing, and he finds that kill immediately. It's a big ultimate to use there, though, Musy. Not having that Kraken impact available anymore is a little bit scary here, and he had to use it to kill 2 tanks there. Not good value, but it is going to cap him the point for the time being.
Well, even though the value might not be what we want it to be, the fact that Xavier Hope gets that early contention for the point means that Chalkit just have that much tougher of a fight ahead of them. Honestly, from a mental standpoint, I think the ultimate pans out because it just shows that Xavier Hope will use any and anything to get this win. And time on the domination point, like you said, when it first started, as Xavier Hope cleans house here, you get 1 kill, you get 10%, you get 3 kills, you get 30. What more can Xavier take?
Xavier, just clinical. I've said it earlier that they just look clean when they're taking wins, and right now they continue to look clean. They're at nearly 50% control over this point, and they've completely zoned Chalkit out from being able to step forward. Vashon looking for any angle to be able to step up. Viper is going to be able to find Potato TV, and that might be enough for Chalkit to start pushing through, but this choke point is being controlled pretty heavily. Viper does find a double kill as AJ goes down. McLegends is healing up his team and providing them with that additional DPS. Z-Crush is going to get into the backline. Oink, though, finds XL0, and look at this portal play. It's going to completely zone off the rest of Chalkit. Oink is going to take down E-Crush, and Vashon is in so much trouble on the point as well. It's nearly over as triple kill for Oink. Musy, I don't know if Chalkit can come back from this.
I mean, Viper's up, gets completely blocked off. Oink just putting on a masterclass of a Doctor Strange play. We talk about how Potato TV is just a menace on this Winter Soldier, but we know for a fact that Oink is consistently clinical with this Doctor Strange. The Porter play, the Hail Mary, 90%. It's time, Chalkit. This is your chance. This is your stand.
Chalkit have their opportunity here. Potato TV, though, he's been so consistent on this Winter Soldier already as Magneto ult comes down. Kraken out, looking for damage onto this Magneto so far. It's a good use of the Eye of Agamotto into the backline here as E-Crush finds one, and McLegends finds another. Bubble card does go down, so Healer's out of position here, but the Eye of Agamotto is better, and it's again, after again, quadra kill for the Winter Soldiers. XL0 left alone on this point, invisible, touching, but for how much longer? The round is over. The game is over. The grand finals and the tournament are over, Musy. Xavier Hope, take it all.
Wowee zowie gamers. Good lord. GG's to Xavier Hope. Pulled it together for those last 2 games. Bit of a shaky start for them. That early game going to Chalkit made me wonder, made me think, are they going to be able to get to that bracket reset? But Xavier Hope pulled it together. They locked in, and they really started to let loose with what they knew how to do, and that is give Potato TV Winter Soldier, lock in Doctor Strange for Oink, win video games. And at the end of the day, that's all that it takes.
It just looked fantastic, and I was trying to say it earlier before they continued doing it, but they were just, Xavier Hope were clinical there. You know, they were able to really clean up those impactful and crucial kills, you know, and what a lot of it came down to was timing and positioning. We did see Chalkit being really consistent with the way that they were taking team fights, but Potato TV just knew how to position, knew how to look for the right picks at the right times, and nothing could stop him when he ulted. And it's not because necessarily Winter Soldier is just that much stronger than any other character in the game, but it's because he waited for the right ultimates to be down, he waited for the healing to be unavailable, and then he got himself a quadra kill, and then another one.
Well, and it really helps that Luna Snow wasn't in that game at all. That is massively what makes it so that Winter Soldier can do what he does. Because if Fate of the World isn't an ability on the table that you have to concern yourself with, it makes Kraken Impact that much better because there is not a lot that you can do to contend against that. Bait out the invisible boundary. The Soul Resurgence from Mantis is not going to be enough to stop Kraken Impact. So as long as your Doctor Strange uses their Eye of Agamotto to bait out abilities, or if you can just, raw dog a Kraken Impact, you can find good fights early on. We saw the fact that this Winter Soldier was able to pop off early because they got their ultimate early. They pushed the enemy team all the way back. And then later in the game, he held on to Kraken Impact, just like you said, for that right moment. And it wins you fights. Dude, that Luna Snowband was actually so incredibly smart, especially in retrospect, because Fate of the World is a crutch that we have been relying on too much to try to stay alive in fights. Xavier Hope really said, yo, we don't need that. We're just going to kill you instead. What are you going to do when it comes down to these raw mechanics? It's not enough.
That was absolutely crazy. I could not be happier to have seen the way that these games went. Let's have a quick look at that bracket one more time, Music, before we close things out. Look at the pathway that got us to these grand finals and to Xavier Hope taking the win. Consistent wins for them across the board. Pawn Stars, Aquamarine, Shortcut in the semi-finals, and then finally taking down Shortcut again. Now, big props to all the teams that we saw during these last 2 weeks of gameplay. It was exciting to see the potential and capability that all of these teams had. Chalker in the grand finals there, they managed to still take a win off of Xavier Hope, and realistically these are still not the top teams, Musi. There's still teams with orgs behind them. There's still players in OCE that are even at a higher level than this, but it was exciting to see these guys have their opportunity on the main stage, and they're going to get more opportunities coming up soon. These tournaments, they should be happening pretty much every week, so there's plenty of time for OCE to shine, Musi.
And honestly, I'm really excited and I am impressed with what I saw from the players today, especially because we know for a fact that the growth factor for these teams is definitely there. We will see more from what these players are capable of down the line. OCE is a region where you cannot count anybody out. You guys are monsters down here. It is actually ridiculous what you're pulling off. So I have to say kudos to all of the players involved. Once again, you people are nuts. I glaze all of you forever from my little North American spot. Y'all are insane. You play a mean game of Marvel Rivals.
Well, thank you very much, Musi, for joining us, and it's been an honor having another member of the Sewer Squad be able to be here with us tonight. Big shout out to Musi, and of course to Redacted, and the work being done by Gangster Sexy in the background to give us all of these excellent looking graphics. If you want to check out more of Musi, you can make sure to go and check out, is it Sewer _ what is the Twitch channel that you guys do all of your work on?
So Delo's the head of that.
Oh, it's on the Delo, isn't it?
Yeah, on the Delo. And my Twitter is just at MusicClan JDRs. That's this guy.
That's the one. Yes, make sure you go and check out the work from the rest of the Sewer Squad. Plenty of Smite gameplay being covered across a different range of different games, actually, that you guys cover. But thank you for being here, Musi. Shout outs to everyone for all of your support and the Oceanic teams. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you in the next one.